You're lying. See, now, why didn't that schedule me? Put 25 to. It came straight on. It's about 3 minutes. Oh, well. What's happening, Crypto Fam? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, innit? I better check. Happy Tuesday. Good morning and welcome back to Love for Crypto. Whether you're tuning in now, that one person who's just coming to the stream live, or if you're tuning in the future, it's a pleasure to have you here and appreciate you taking the time out to consume the content. So thank you. Who's in the chat? Say hello, say good morning. I love you. Whoever just dropped that like straight away. Mwah. Love you. Obi-Chu. I can't say that name. I'm extremely sorry, but I love you. Agora, yo. What's happening? Morning, SBI Co. Today I want to talk about supply and demand. I want to talk about the true value of XRP and Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto assets and where it's actually going to come from, and the fact that it ain't your use case. Use cases are great. It's going to get it adopted. It's going to get people knowing about it. It's not going to give it the value, mate. It's not going to give it the true value. Your use case. Very, very rarely does a use case bring an item's actual value. Very, very rarely. Diamond's cheap. Morning, Alan. Morning, Sonny. Morning, Steve. Morning, Carl. Good to see you all. Love you all. Yeah, what was I going to say then? Diamonds aren't cheap, are they? Morning, Steve. Diamonds aren't cheap. What's the diamond's use case? It's a use case for diamonds. Forget lasers, all you engineers. To all you engineers who know about what they're doing in computers with diamonds and the lasers and all that kind of stuff. I'm not asking you, I'm asking everyone else. What's a use case of a diamond? And don't tell me that a diamond gets £900 to 500 grams value per gram, per carat, depending on its use case. Diamond gets value simply because women want them. Women want them. You got half of the planet, 3.5 billion people, women, put an extremely high value on diamonds. Wedding rings, jewelry, yeah, bling bling. And it's quite ridiculous. It is actually quite ridiculous. When XRP has been the number one coin in terms of market cap this whole time. XRP, with the market cap stuff's a little bit daft, innit? I don't know why everybody... the doobie's down there, mate. I'm not sparking her up just yet, mate. She's here, though. She's pre-rolled, man. Pre-rolled this morning. But I want to get through a bit of this before I start chilling out, because I want the first 10 minutes to be like, blah, for everyone who wants the information. I just want the information there from the video. So whatever the video is going to be titled when I'm live, I'm going to try and get through it in the first 10 to 15, 20 minutes. So then whoever's in the chat, and yeah, you know what happens with these fucking lives. Do you know what I mean? You're going to end up talking about the absolute in a bit, when all we are. So wake and bake, Steve, you know this. Hey, beats a glass of vodka, done it, lad. You know what I mean? Beats a glass of vodka. Anywho, a $1 million Bitcoin. Does that sound daft? $1 billion per Bitcoin. Does that sound daft? Like fucking, what, a billion per coin? Shut the fuck up. It's fucking stupid, innit? 1 billion per coin. Is $1 million per Bitcoin stupid? When we do $1 million per Bitcoin, and we say 1,000 to 10,000 XRP, most people go, "That's like, you're fucking crazy. It's never gonna reach there. It's never gonna reach there, mate." And Alan, that can't happen. $1 billion can't happen in our lifetimes. I think you mean, mate. Can't happen in $1 billion per Bitcoin. Likely won't happen during our lifetimes. Don't say it can't. It can happen, mate. It can. It's possible. This is where we need to seriously break down possibility over probability. The possibility of Bitcoin becoming $1 billion per coin is highly improbable. That's probably never gonna fucking happen. But to say it can't happen, You're removing possibility, and the possibility stands that yes, off supply and demand, it can be worth that. Let me ask you something right now. Is that watch worth £55 million? $55 million. It's a Samsung Gear. Is it worth $55 million, that watch? No. But it's a watch. It's not worth 55 million to you, that one. But that one is. Now there's a diamond watch online. It's worth $55 million. There's a difference between my watch and that watch. You both sell the same time. Both got the same use case. They both got the same use case then. Why are they not the same price? Why are they not the same price? Because the demand for a Samsung one is not the same demand for that one. It's just not. Completely different markets, completely different watches. Yeah, they still tell the time. Yeah, Bitcoin is a digital asset. Yes, XRP is a digital asset. Similar and the same use cases, but there's going to be completely different supply and demand on them in the end. Smoke one now. I'll be smoke one very soon. Bitcoin can be $1 million per coin. Of course it can. Will it? In our lifetimes, who knows? I've said this before, right? 21 million Bitcoins. 21 million Bitcoins. It reached 20 grand, right? 20 grand when a few million people wanted one. 2017, excuse me, there wasn't that many people going in it. I mean, I've said a few million. That might be being a bit generous. That might actually be being a bit generous. In 2017, when we hit the bull run into 2018, you might find that there was only 500,000 of us in the space. You might find that there was only 50,000, 500,000 to 50,000 or 500,000 people there in the space at that time. I said a few million then, but that actually might be a little bit generous. But anyway, just say there was 1 million people who got Bitcoin to 20k. Of speculative, everyone's like, oh yeah, but that was just speculation. That it's more about use cases. Oh, it's fucking not, mate. No, it's not. Adoption is about the use cases. The true value is about when everyone who's been pushed off the fence and scared to invest in turns around and goes, oh shit, this is it. Fuck. And I told her, oh my god. And that's where your levels of regret came because you sold out. Or you're getting late because you never bought in. But the fact of the matter is, loads of people are going to turn around and be like, oh shit, 2023, they're going to be like, oh, them crazy bastards on Twitter were right. Them YouTubers and that. Shit. Fucking $100 a coin now. Bitcoin's fucking 100 grand. XRP's $100. Fuck. I missed the boat here. They're going to feel like they've instantly missed the boat. But come 2025, 2 years later, there could be another zero, mate. Just whack another zero on them and they're like, what? Is it going to go again? Shall I buy some now for 2030? Which is why your 18-year-olds, once they finally get it, between now and 2025, there's going to be some 18-year-olds that start thinking, do you know what? This will be climbing till 2040, this shit. People's talking about stopping buying when it hits $1. What? You've got people who in one breath will be like, yeah, XRP can make $1,000. $1,000 per coin, XRP $1,000 per coin, but I'm going to stop buying at $1, mate. What? Do you believe what he just said? Is there any belief in anything you just said? Steve, you're adopting no use case. Love that. Daniel, good day, mate. Mornings. Neil, morning, mate. I think by the time Bitcoin hits silly prices, the tech won't be safe from advanced computing. Right. Right. Bitcoin can hit $1 million per coin with no use case. This is what I'm trying to fucking say. It can hit $1 million per coin with no use case, not even being a currency, not even being a store of value in most people's eyes. But what the fuck, Scott? How the fuck's it gonna do that, Scott? What do you mean, Scott? Right, people are missing the bragging right point, the bragging right aspect, the bragging right, man. People don't sleep on that, guys. Do not sleep on that, right? I want you to imagine a 14-year-old now who's looking at all this and his dad won't give him money to buy Bitcoin. I want you to severely imagine it, man, like, because it's happening. Dad, I want some Bitcoin. You're not buying that digital shit, so shut up. You know, I'm not buying you that digital shit. But Daddy, I want some Bitcoin. I want some Bitcoin. I'm not buying it, your son. What doing it? That kid's going to grow up knowing that his dad rejected something that kept gaining in value. His dad's going to look a dick. He's going to call his dad stupid. He's going to be in school to people like, fucking dad's stupid. He won't buy any of it. Fuck's sake. So all these kids growing up now whose parents are looking like idiots to him, who won't let them buy it, who won't buy it for them, they are the 200 million people, 200 million people that want one full Bitcoin. Now go and do a little bit of maths. Can 200 million people have a full Bitcoin each? 200 million people is 21 million divided by 200 million. You can't have a full one each. You can't have a full one each. So now again, let's imagine we've got some 13 to 18-year-olds that get into the 20s in the next 5 to 10 years, and they all want a Bitcoin each. There's your supply and demand. Now imagine it's 2 billion people. 2 billion people trying to get something that there's only 21 million of. Like, what the hell? Bitcoin doesn't need a use case. Bitcoin doesn't need a use case to reach $1 million. People need to realize that. I'm not saying it will. Again, we're not a possibility, probability. But the more people that just, I've got a Bitcoin, recognize what that means for the future teenagers and generations. I've got a fucking Bitcoin. I've got a Bitcoin. I've got a 50 million diamond watch. Why is that watch worth 50 million? We're getting there now. Why the hell is that watch, hallucination watch, the Craft Diamonds hallucination watch for $55 million? Why is that worth $55 million? Why? So someone can go, diamond watch. What? Rolex. Ego. Ego. Oh, ego. Legitimately got a full Bitcoin and you're not seeing the comparisons. It's digital. People calling it digital gold. Digital gold. The CBDC and assets that are actually pegged to the fucking gold are going to be digital gold. We got gold. Gold's use case beyond space. Gold got to be on bling bling. Got a gold chain. Got a gold fucking gold chain. Got some silver. Some silver blood. Got some silver blood. You got that bling bling blood. You got that bling bling blood. Like, all fiat goes to fiat. Will just remain fiat in people's heads. Fiat's just gonna, like, the pound will remain the pound in British people's heads. The dollar will remain the dollar in Americans' heads, whether the dollar's there or not. You start bridge currency and you start the UN credit and the IMF credit and the XDR unit of credit, and people are gonna be like, yeah, but how many dollars is an XDR? How many pounds is an XDR? How many this is an XDR? The fiat's always going to be there, mate. It'll be about the Satoshis. Go and look at it. What's 1 million Bitcoin makes a Satoshi a cent or something, doesn't it? 10,000 XRP makes a drop a cent. It's like the design for it, bro. It's like the design for it. And everyone's like, oh, it's not really... You're missing a point. Supply and demand. We're not even... Do you know what? I've only got the first item on that flaming list. I actually wanted to read the list out. 40 minutes in, we're doing all right. 19. So, people will turn around like, if Bitcoin could reach 40k, and people will be like, all right, that's not worth 40k, that. It's not worth 40k, that. And you'll be like, yeah, but it is 40k. And I've just fucking bought one because it's an appreciated asset. Just like some people do with cars. People's like, oh, well, cars can't do this. I was like, well, I was like, yeah, but you could buy a car for 15k. And drive it off the lot and it's lost $3,000. Or buy a limited edition, special edition, absolute monstrous beast or a vintage classic, and it depreciated that fast and got that old, and then was in that good condition, it actually started appreciating again. Case in point, the 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO, now worth 70 million in mint condition. Are you fucking shitting me? 70 million. Are you shit? 70 million. Is that car worth 70 mil? Is its use case worth 70 mil? Stop it. Stop it. The honourable mention of the 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO that brings in a whopping 48.4 million in 2018 while in mint condition. The 2018 vintage Italian sports car broke a record. Jesus wept. Someone buy a boat and meet me in Hull. Someone buy a boat and meet me in Hull. What? Have you ever seen people fish bluefin tuna? Bluefin tuna. Have you seen it? You get like 3 to 5 grand of fish. Have you seen it? I mean, it makes you think like, shit, buy a boat. Let's buy a boat, mate. 3.1 million for the bluefin tuna. What? It's a fish, mate. What? I mean, it surprises you when they're worth 3, 4, 5 grand, or 3.1 million for the. Why is that fish worth so much? Experts are worried about the future of tuna, officially a threatened species. Oh, would that mean the demand's coming down, the supply's coming down? But we're still not sure if a single fish is worth 3.1 million price tag. Kashibakura, sushi restaurant owner, paid that much for the bluefin tuna at Japan's social market in early 2019. Oh my days, that's like. Brain just doesn't even want to comprehend like that. A 3.1 million pound tuna fish for everyone who's just tuned in. Apparently XRP is not worth a grand. I mean, it carries on here, guy. Like, we've got the Antila in Mumbai. A lot of people have seen this. Like, Buckingham Palace being an honourable mention of 1.55 billion for a home. This home here is the richest man in India built a square foot home in Mumbai. His house is worth 2 billion. He's got a $2 billion house. So basically, how does all this stuff get its value? I mean, why is there a parking spot in Manhattan worth $1 million? Is it supply and demand for the parking spot? There's that much demand for that one fucking parking space. Like Leonardo da Vinci painting here, 450 mil. Can I go and sell one of my paintings for that much? So a painting, what use case has that got? But hanging on a flaming wall, it's worth 450 million. Oh, it needs a use case. It needs a use case to be worth anything, Scott. Surely it needs a use case to be worth anything. And I get a better. Right, bugs tag, just for the quick rundown. They don't yet. XRP and the SDR don't go together. Google SDR special drawing rights, and then XDR value to the pound. And you will notice that the SDR special drawing rights is a basket of currencies that produces the XDR unit of credit, and then the XDR is used for liquidity. Now, it's believed by some of us that towards the end of this year, XRP will be added to the basket and begin to contribute to the XDR value. In the same way that 5 years ago, the Chinese yuan was added and started contributing and gaining allotment. Gaining the allotment, like the size of the reserves and that there was actually a part of. It's basically the global reserve currencies. So you have the dollar, the pound, the euro, the yen, and hopefully soon XRP. Oh, what's Crypto Club up to? Any info on the coin? I've not seen the white paper yet, mate. I'm waiting on the white paper to read it and just see like who's involved in the project, and still don't know who the guy actually is myself. I bought 1.1 Bitcoin for about 350 and spent it. People, mornings and grimes. I'm well, thanks, Monte. Good morning. Look at property in Sandbanks Pool. Why? It is going down. Thank you, Dino. Appreciate it, mate. It means a world to me that people not only get a bit of value out of the content, but actually enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It does. It legitimately means the world to me. Thank you. Back on the tools, dreaming of getting off the tools, Jerry. Oh no, I wish I was back on the tools, to be honest, mate. Not only would you have had a video 2 hours ago because I'd have done it on the way to work, it's easier to get out of bed. But I need some fucking coins soon, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can't just keep doing what they're doing. I got rejected to grant me. So the guy I used to work with got 5.5 grand and they fucking rejected me. And I'm like, you're taking the piss. It's like a kick in the face every 6 months, man. Legitimately, the government legit just kicks me in the face every 6 months, but that's another story. So there's a domain, carlinsurance.com, 49 million for the domain. Insurance.com is worth 35 million. All these knobheads in the 2000 era, there was like, oh, I could have invested in this, could have invested in that, and you'd have been a millionaire. Yeah, well, you could have just bought fucking insurance.com, mate. Could have bought insurance.com, sat on it for 20 years and sold it for 40 odd mil. Now, is that going to sell for 40 odd mil? It's worth 40 odd mil. The domain, oh shit, it says it right at the end. Oh my God. The domain sold for $49.7 million. Insurance.com sold for $35.6 million. Wow. How much is your motorbike worth? You're going to go and sell your motorbike for 11 million. The motorbike's worth 11 million. I thought motorbikes were just worth about 10 grand. The Whittlesbach diamond, where's that use case? Where's the use case for that diamond beyond lasers and shit? We know they're coming in computers and lasers and all that stuff. $80 million diamond. So basically, a use case within digital assets and XRP and Bitcoin and all that, it's only going to get the price so far, so early. They're only adding little remittance payments and all that, and I'm pretty sure some of these companies still charging, still having remittance. There's corridors that still need to be added. There's reach that still needs to be attained, and then it legitimately just becomes all about speed through ILP. But the use cases will be the bottom line. The very bottom line. So imagine XRP. When we think like, oh, XRP, what price does it actually need to be to produce that much liquidity within an internet of value? Let's, for argument's sake, it needs to be such and such a price. That is going to be the bottom line. That will be the very bottom support that for as long as it's doing that utility of pushing that value through all the corridors, the order books are on top of it. It will never go below that. There will be a floor, a utility floor. Utility brings a floor. Supply and demand brings a ceiling. You'll be trading in between. Do you know what I mean? It's legitimately what's going to happen. Miss Beautiful, it's nice to see you too. Always a pleasure. We'll turn our attention to DLTCon UK soon. As long as we get an end date, like the lot. Once we get a date for the end of lockdown, we're going to start turning our attention to setting up DLTCon again. We'll talk a lot more. We'll talk a lot more about supply, demand, distributed ledger technology, blockchain technology, and the rest of it. When we get there, I'm actually really, really looking forward to it. Again, we just need to wait till lockdown's over. A crystal piano. I mean, I'm still going down this list, having a little buzz, me, but there's a crystal piano worth 3 million, mate. A piano worth 3 million. So all us little peasants, yeah, might have called you a peasant, call myself one as well, so it's okay when you call yourself in it. But us, working class, middle class, the cogs in the machine, whatever you want to fucking call it, we don't really think about these kind of things of value, but when you watch them programs, you got like Michael Jackson spending fucking millions in this antique shop. It's just ridiculous, and it's like, I want that one. I want that one as well. Martin, can we get that one? What's that over there on the wall? I'd like one of them as well. And I'm like, fucking hell, Mike. Like, yeah, but we're trying to buy the shop, right? It's just throwing money at shit. And it's the dreamers. It's what makes most people dream. It's like when you hear someone's, no, stop it. Stop it. Someone's pimped an iPhone and sold it for 8 million. I love seeing people be successful, man. I think that's fucking great. But the little bit of me inside's just died. Because I'm like, why the fuck did I think of that? Why did I think of that, mate? There's not even that many diamonds on it. He's not even blinged it that much. He's only blinged the side and the flaming home button. Do you know what I mean? Are you gonna go and bling an iPhone 4 and it end up worth 8 million, mate? Honourable mention, an iPhone 3GS Supreme Gold Striker Advanced by Stuart Hughes. Sold for 3.14 million. Oh my god, it's the same guy, Stuart Hughes. StuartHughes.com. I'm gonna go to StuartHughes.com here now. Oh my. Yo, he's made Chrome MacBooks. He's legit. The guy's made Chrome MacBooks. Fucking 24 karat gold and diamond Supreme Apple Watch Series 5 edition. Platinum and Pearl iPhone 11 edition. Oh my god, get me off that page. So this is what you say, like one phone, like, so the use case of a phone, it's worth 100 quid a year. Yeah, maybe £100 a year, maybe. Fucking random ball length. Now, when there's 100 million phones aren't that expensive. Fucking bling, do you know what I mean? Just to bling a phone and say, that's through my head, that, a phone being worth 8 million. Like, what the hell? Right, XRP needs a price that equates the level of demand for ODL at any one point in time. XRP's utility will extend into other assets as a result of XRP's utility itself. That's wrong. Right, sorry to be a blunt dickhead right there, but that's wrong. XRP needs a bottom. It needs a utility. I've just said it needs a utility bottom. It can't provide liquidity through utility for an internet of value and on-demand liquidity if it falls below the price needed for on-demand liquidity and to facilitate an internet of value. That would be the base price. That's what it needs. It's what it needs. It's not what it's going to get. Supply and demand will take it well beyond that. Again, we've got all-time highs of speculation, not utility. People like to talk about utility, but where's the all-time high of utility, mate? Fucking nowhere. Fucking nowhere. Nowhere. It's not coming. You ain't getting no all-time high off utility, mate. That comes off speculation. Supply and demand. Greedy motherfuckers running in through FOMO. That's what will get us new all-time highs. Utility in the next couple of years is going to get what? $1.50. Woohoo! Woohoo! $1.50. And half of you just started not buying over the dollar, so you fucked it. Do you know what I mean? Like, people, it's a weird one. Eastbourne on, give me a shout. Go have a coffee. No ways, a few people down there in Poole. It's got to move to Brighton in August. Are you living near that place? Oh, I'm in Manchester, me. Otherwise, I'll come down in a heartbeat. And we've got about 100 miles in my car. I don't even get that far. Probably get to Birmingham and my car just stopped. I need to get back in work. Seriously, because like I say, the government will just treat me like a fucking knobhead. So I'll just give up trying to get money off them. I'm just trying to get back in work now. But all about that supply and demand. I'm interested in that, Joshua, now, because it doesn't. This is where it gets me thinking. I'd love to be able to work out how much is actually needed. Like you say, it does need it, right? It does need it, but it doesn't. What I meant is it doesn't have to be the actual price. You said it needs the price to be, which it kind of does, but the price can be 10 times more than what it needs for utility through speculation and supply and demand. Do you know what I mean? I.e., if it needs to be $1 in 2022 to provide liquidity to ISO migrations, anything going cross network, any remittance, anything like that, if it needs to be $5, excuse me, it needs to be $5 by then. It's not going to be $5 then. It's not going to be. It's going to be more like fucking $8, $9, $10 because it will be above what it needs for utility, just like it is now. Now, if I was to hedge a bet right fucking now, I'd say utility is about 10 cents. I'd say at the moment utility is about 10 cents. You ain't seen below 10 cents again. And if you do, it means utility is below that. If we see below 10 cents moving forward, what did we see like the other week? 15? So I'd say like maybe 10, 11, 12, 13. The one it rejects now is the boom, 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 boom. And it keeps going down and rejecting it all the fucking time, every other month. And it's all the same region. There's your utility region. And your speculation and supply and demand is only going to be like, take it to newer, further heights. I think 15 cents was low. 15 cents was low, but could be lower. Don't know what the current utility is, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think it's about 10, 12 cents. And then that very thin order book was on the top of it, pushing it to 15. And then now it's back in the 20s. Is it back in the 20s today? Generally tend to not look at the moment, me. I've said for months, wake me back up when it's over $1. Like most people are going to stop buying over $1. I'm not. That's when I'll get truly excited again. When XRP is over $1 again, I expect movements, me. I expect FOMO. I expect it to start chasing down that all-time high then. It can hit 99 cents and you won't get shit. You get a little bit, but nah. It probably hit 99 cents at the moment if it breaks 50. Or if it breaks 50, 60 cents, you're probably going to get a little push to 99 and then it'll come back down. If it breaks the $1, I think you're going to see a lot different, right? Because not only if it breaks the right, let's push it up a little bit more because I know then it'll be legit. So if it breaks $1 to $2, some people are actually looking to sell at $2 now. They've got that much from fucking 15, 20 cents. They're like, you know what? It gets to $2. I'm selling a bit. So not only will you have on one hand at $2 a shitload of FOMO is coming in, you're going to get people selling profits. And people are cashing out like, you know what? I'm just selling some at fucking $2. After hitting. Now make sure it's off your own back and you want to buy the XRP. Don't buy XRP because I say go and buy XRP. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and make sure it's an investment you want to make. Don't let anyone tell you what to invest in. Just let them show your investments and then you make your own mind up. I'm a mofo that don't FOMO. I'm waiting for the 0.04. Seriously bullish. Don't mistake me. And I agree with your vision generally. I'm concentrating on the scale of the internet value from time. I mean, are you saying 4 cents there? Or is that a typo and you meant 45? Like, you think it's going down to that? You think like the utility is 5 cents? Because it could be. People need to like, right, it's not going to be 5 cents. debate and speculation, it could be 5 cents. So, and let's have a. So you think it's about 5 cents? I thought it was more 10, but it could be 5. Of course, it could be 5. People need to realise our remittance payments and remittance corridors don't send that much money. They don't send that much money. You know how much remittance are globally? It's what the UK sends a day. So what the UK people send to each other a day, that's what the remittance sends per fucking year. It's not that big. It's not that big. We do 600 billion a day in Britain. Swift do 5 trillion a day. Let's not even go there. If people think that remittance is a lot of utility, you need to wake the fuck up, because it's fuck all. It's nothing. Again, not nothing. Nothing compared to what Swift are pushing daily. It's nothing compared to what Britain are pushing daily. America's pushing daily. That is a global network of people sending wages, all tax-paid wages back to their families. But it's not that much money. You're talking about people, for perspective, everyone, all those entitled motherfuckers. You imagine someone in Poland or another country, emerging market, whatever. Man's used to earning like £200 a month, mate, at home. All of a sudden finds his way to Britain, gets a job on a site, it's pulling 3 ton a week. It's gone from 200 a month to 3 ton a week. So we start sending some of it home, obviously. It's going to start sending some of it home. But it's not payments. It's not a settlement. It's changing currency because it's crossing a border. But again, in the future, that's just going to be a change of network with XRP as the bridge or another bridge asset. It's not really paying someone, not paying for a product, not paying for a service. They're not settling. I'm giving you this value and you give me a product or service in the back. They're just sending money. It's just Dave sending money to Sandra at all. It's just Abdul sending money to his dad. Chink sending money to his gran. It's just people abroad, working and living abroad, sending a bit of the wages that they pay tax for in the country they're working, and they're sending a bit of it home. It's minuscule. It's minuscule. You shut up about Bitcoin, Mr. Big Shot. Fucking come round here and say that. Seriously, come round here and say that. I won't shut up about Bitcoin. Reckon we could see some big things happen this year. I think we could, regarding utility and that, I think you could see the utility price pushed up. And I think that's all that's ever going to happen. I think people are wanting the top to go, where I think they're just slowly raising the bottom as much as they can at the moment. And I think that once the bottom and your utility floor gets up to like your 15, 20, 25 cents, your speculation is going to push it over the dollar again, and you're going to start running to new all-time highs. It's not that remittance is weak. Remittance is one of the smallest global networks regarding sending money all over the world, when it's just money going from point A to point B with no product or service going back the other way. You know, like, it's not like you're gonna, like I say, you're sending Amazon money and they're sending you a product back. It's not like that. Remittance is just someone sending a little bit of wages home to the family. I'm gonna send. If I went to work and live in Australia now and was paid Australian dollars and was getting a really, really good wage, and I started sending money back to my mum, that's remittance payment, mate. Doesn't matter. I could use the XRP ledger on my own, send it from Wirex to Wirex. It's a remittance payment. I'm sending foreign wages back home to my family. It's a remittance payment. It's foreign aid. It's foreign workers. That's what remittance is. So, yeah, it is a small market regards to what Swift do daily, what the UK does daily. The UK a day does 600 billion. The remittance is 600 to 700 billion per year. So it's doing, like, Britain are doing per day what remittance does a year. Like, people need to wake up to the fact that remittance is it's just a pebble on a beach of pebbles. You know what I mean? Everyone's always just looking at remittance. Now, don't get me wrong, it's the one that's providing trust for the bankers. So the more they churn remittance through, then the more they do 600 billion per year, fault-free, flawlessly. My fucking art system works good, doesn't it, bro? We're nearly ready to use this ourselves. At the moment, you've got 600 billion per year going through it, or up to 600 billion a year going through remittance. What happens when Swift do start doing this? And again, I've mentioned 600 billion a day for the UK. That will never go through XRP. Doesn't need to. Our RTGS system does not need XRP. The global RTGS system needs XRP, which is Swift, which is your 5 trillion a day. 5 trillion a day, guys. There's your use case. And then supply and demand on top of that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. The derivatives market, let's not even get on that. We're going to the quadrillions, mate. Let's just try and get flaming Swift and that out of the way first, eh? What's good? Emil, mornings, cross-border more value, gaming more value, FX trade more value, derivatives market. The value in gaming is going to surprise a lot of people. 65 US our dollar is, the pound dominates. You would have to send a lot. Said it to my mum the other day. I said, can you imagine trying to send $20 to my cousin in Canada, how much it would cost you and how much of a ball ache it would be to actually send that value? And she's like, yeah. I said, well, you've got Wirex there on your phone with the XRP you bought for Seb. I said, if Rachel had Wirex, you could just send it to her. An XRP, 4 seconds, bam, she's got it. She puts it into Canadian dollars then. Done. You don't need a bank anymore, Mum. And she's like, don't do I? Mum actually started realising the implications of what XRP. A good wage in Australia, or maybe I should have said a different country, mate. Ripple have always said that remittance were the way to breaking communication with a central bank. And I've said it before, Josh. You can imagine all the old dead bankers when this 25-year-old guy come in saying, yeah, your systems are shit. I'm going to speed them up. I'm going to save you up to 80% in fees and that. And all these old guys like that, listen, mate, put your dick away, shut your fucking mouth, and go and prove it. Seriously, I won't come in here sprouting all that if you can't prove it. But the guy's gone out and the guy's proved it. And then they're going, fucking 7 years in and still proving it. Just give us 3 more years. Once you've got that decade, 2023, year of the end of the ISO migration. So the central banks are ready at the time of the Ripple's been. The central banks are going to be ready in the same year that Ripple have been proving their system for 10 years. So when that gets to a decade of still working, still ticking over 4 seconds, smashing the remittance, doing all this, people start trusting it. Central banks are going to be like, yeah, we're ready. Honestly, 2023 is one of the biggest years regards to this, in my opinion. XRP will be the innovation to Swift. It will be one of the choices you can use instead. Do you think Swift could use this time to develop their own version of XRP? Do you think it takes years to develop the system for it to work? So you're saying it takes a decade to develop this level of tech? No. One saying it's taking a decade for Ripple to get the big bank. All these big bankers pulling levers. We're cogs in machines, don't you? And the millionaires are bigger cogs turning us. And then the billionaires are levers working them big fucking cogs. And then the big billionaires are the hands on the levers, controlling the levers. So you got you know what I mean? Don't you? The elites control the billionaires. Well, the billionaires needed to see this work for a decade so they could trust it, so they could swap the legacy systems to it. That's basically where the decade came in. I believe it took them 4 years to build from the end of 2007 till 2013. It would take a couple of years, I don't know. But around 2010 to 2012, XRP came into being. And I think Swift would if XRP was a little slower. So do I think Swift could use this time to develop their own version of XRP, or do I think it takes years to develop the system? I think, one, it does take a couple of years, so a few years, depending on who you've got to do it. Two, there's only 3, 4, 5 people on the planet who actually know how to build the XRP ledger. Not the token. The token's code's there for all to see in it. You can create the token. But I think the system as a whole, the way Ripple talk about how it can move anything of value, it can do this with smart contracts, and they're adding everything on top of it. It's clearly modular in a sense like Hyperledger Fabric is, where you can change it to suit you. XRPL is clearly modular. It's clearly got many use cases and ways it can be used against many other networks and many other assets. Do you know what would be a good question? Go and get a chat with Jed McCaleb and ask him why he didn't make XRP again. Why did he make XLM different? Why did he make it so he could just print as many as he wanted? It's like it's pre-mined, but it's mineable and all that. It can be reallocated and stuff. That's why I'm not. I mean, I know it's a choice for people to take, so I advise people to go and look at XLM and don't miss out on it. But don't change the matter to the fact that Jed McHale was one of the guys who built XRP, and then he went and built another token that was slightly different. Now, did he realize that the bankers are going to love XRP, but some people who hate banks are not going to? So he went and made XLM for them people, knowing that when the banks pump XRP, he gets to sell his share anyway, and then he can get even richer off XLM, off the normal folk. People are, why is he selling XRP for fucking well? Because he made it, mate. I tell you what, go and make a bench, or spend a fucking year making something, and then just fucking throw it in the tip. You weapon. Who's gonna make? He's selling it because he helped create it. He's got the right to sell it, and he's actually been told when he's allowed to sell it. He's also got his other little baby that he's expecting to get extremely rich off. So you're telling him to hold on to his XRP. He's basically telling him to not believe in XLM. Yeah, you know that other project you got going, don't believe in that, mate. You need to save them XRPs in case that other project you're doing turns to shit. You're going to make shit off that, mate. So do what I say, and do what I want you to do, and hold on to your fucking XRP. Cheeky bastard. Who do some people think they are? It's his fucking asset. Stop selling yours, dickhead. Stop selling yours, dickhead. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Oh, C19's the smoke. It's the smoke cloud, mate. It's the smoke cloud. GPIs and APIs and all the rest of it, Alan, are all going to be linked. So they'll all be linked through. It doesn't matter how many networks pop up. They'll all be linked together through interoperability protocols like Interledge Protocol, the XRPL. Nothing's keeping up with the XRPL at the moment. Cross-border settlement and remittance is just the beginning for Ripple, in my honest opinion. It is. Ripple don't really give a shit about remittance, mate. The bankers do. The banks have told Ripple to attack remittance and prove that the system works. In my opinion, that's what's happened. Ideally, Ripple would already be coming out talking about the internet of value and how much value is going to be added through gaming and how much value is going to be added through this, that, and that. But imagine the FOMO then, mate. Imagine the FOMO. If Trump had already come out and spoke about XRP, ILP, internet of value, the level playing field in a broader term, like imagine the FOMO. Jesus wept. It'd be unbelievable. All the value in the world going for ILP. People like to say all the money. All the money. Nah, mate. All the value. All the value. That phone, mate. And that phone on a smart contract. Sell it to someone and then get some drone to take it to you. All tracked by a QR code. It doesn't need to be money. It's all the value. And the next generations are going to see it as value more than money. There's going to be digital assets, digital currency. Interesting if people still use the term money in the future. Interesting. Not quite sure. All the money. When the world's wealth becomes tokenized, 24/7, 365 value transfer capabilities, and a component for trading based on supply and demand, all run on XRP ledger. Life goes way. Oh, you know this. Cost of living over there in Australia is way too high. Housing, food, if you smoke and drink, prices are crazy. The worst part is our supply chain for our basics, fuel, food, booze, are mostly 2 companies. It's a fucking joke, mate. There's only 7 companies in the whole fucking world. I don't care what anyone says. People are like, oh, there's fucking millions of companies, thousands of fucking companies. Yeah, there's thousands of companies owned by 7 corporations or some shit. It's disgusting. I've fucking got to change. Oh, I love Disney, mate. Yeah, you love Disney. You don't fucking grip here. And your kids programming the shit out of them. I used to love Disney. Fucking hate them now. What they've done to me, Marvel. You thought it was only Swift. It's... See, what happened... See, the thing is, if it wasn't for the third-party financial institutions and payment providers, like Mark Carney says, are opening doors to payment providers in the private sector. If it wasn't for all this private sector, it would just be Swift. If it wasn't for stuff like PayPal and stuff like that, which will lean on Swift in the end anyway. So if you say like PayPal, when Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson talk about PayPal masking the problem, they're basically correspondent banking with the fucking self. Do you know what I mean? So PayPal has a UK bank account, an American bank account, a Brazilian bank account, a Russian bank account, a Chinese bank account. PayPal's got bank accounts all over the gaff loaded with that local currency. When you cash out a PayPal, it will give it you straight away from from your local currency in its local accounts, and then it will retop them up from its other accounts, and it will correspond and bank with itself in the background. If it wasn't for all them kinds of companies doing that, who still use the banking system anyway, so Swift will be sending payments for them in the background. It just won't be done at settlement, at payment. There'll be a payment, PayPal will settle it, and then they'll settle with a sell through Swift. It's fucking complicated, isn't it? They try to work out. It's because there's third-party payment providers, and there's third-party financial institutions now that are not quite banks, but have been given the rights and some financial rights of banks to give people financial services. Do you feel there'll be a big dip before XRP is announced so the big guns can fill their bags? I'd expect about double value. I'd expect it to bounce now to 40s, 50s, right? Maybe even 70s, 80s, 90s. It's then going to lead to a little bit of FOMO. Again, like I said, pushing it up to 90s. Before it goes over $1 or back to all-time high, I do believe there'll be the biggest bear trap in history. I do. I think you're going to get the biggest bear trap in history. I think you're going to get people trying to call a top. It's not going to be a fucking top. Going to be a little, you'll get a wick, bump, you'll get a little fucking candle down, you'll have everyone thinking, fucking sell, get back in lower down, all these guys that try and play the market, and they're going to get hit by the biggest bear trap in history. The bears will go in, thinking it's going to turn again, and it'll be another fucking 12 months of bear markets after a good... Do you imagine now we get like 4 months of bull run now, back up to $1? And everyone thinks that's it, and it's going to hit Christmas, and it's going to fucking run. And you'll have a few people like, nah, this is approaching the top. You need to sell soon and buy back in after New Year. And there's going to be a conflict of people, what people want to do. Hodl like fuck. Hodl it like fuck. Because I'm telling you now, do not be surprised if we experience the biggest bear trap in history in the next few years. Honestly, it will not surprise me if you see thousands of people saying they got burnt. They got burnt trying to acquire more in a dip that didn't really end up a dip. BTC will transact for XRP. Ethereum 2.0 should yield 100k TPS. The supply may be an issue. Looking at the stake options, interesting rising green. So let's say XRP takes on a $27 trillion market cap. Can't understand how that value just gets divided over the hodlers. That's 27 trillion. It's not mine, so how do I suddenly get a cut of it by holding? Whoa. Let's say XRP takes on a $27 trillion market cap. I can't understand how that value just gets divided over the holder. That 27 trillion is not mine, so how do I suddenly get a cut of it by holding? If the pie is worth 27 trillion, you own a piece of the pie. That shouldn't be that hard to understand, Oliver. The reason you're struggling to understand it is because you've put such a big fucking number on it. 27 trillion, where's 27 trillion come from? So let's say it takes on 27 trillion. Where did that number come from in your head, bro? 27 trillion, that's a high number, that. Do you know, if we split the 100 billion XRP for everyone in the world, how many you get? How many do you think you'd get? You get about 14. You get about 14. That's quick maths, that. That's too fast, that. So what have we got? 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 100 billion divided by 7, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 750 million. 75 billion. What you doing, Scott? 7.5 billion. You get 13.3 XRP each. 13 XRP each. If we spread it between everyone on the planet. Not a lot, that, is it? Is it fuck? Nostro Vostro's got nothing to do with XRP, mate. Nostro Vostro is bank accounts, and they're both the same fucking account. It's just a different way of saying it. One means your money in my account, and the other means my money in your account. The same fucking account. It's just a different way of looking at it. Nostro and Vostro are not really two different accounts. Nostro is a way one guy can say, this is your money in my account. And Vostro is a way that guy can say, that's my money in your account. It just depends on which side of the account you're on for whether you'd say Nostro or Vostro. That's within the legacy banking system, the current banking system. Considers SBI are holding their data back, clear suppression, reset the system, and go into full connection of the network. This could see the value, the volume flatline. Interesting. In the years to come, triple digits at the very least. Nothing will make me sell early. No choice but to hold. Can't be rich unless it hits $100. See, this is what I mean, Craig. You've got people like me and you who are waiting for like 30, 40, 50, up to $100 more. And then you've legitimately got people who are going to sell from $2 to $50 and probably have fucking none left, mate. Honestly, there's people sat there now waiting to sell at $2. Now, fair enough, if you've got that much and you can sell at $2 and still have a lot left, just make sure you've made peace with your sale, with your exchange. I.e., if you've got 10,000 XRP and you're going to sell 1,000 of them at $2, so you've got $2,000 to go on holiday, make sure you're not going to regret the other 8,000, the other 9,000 of them that you've got. Don't regret what value they end up. You go on holiday the next 2 weeks and you've sold at $2 and you come back off holiday and it's $10. You think, shit, if I just waited a month. But, well, none of them thoughts. I don't give a fuck. It's $10. I got 9,000 there. I've just been on holiday. I'm buzzing. Got an emotional stiffy every day. I'm what? Making sure you're happy with your decisions and don't regret them, regardless of the price change in a few weeks after. You do not want to be selling out at $20 during a bull run, swapping assets for something else at $20, and then 4 or 5 weeks later that feels like it went like that, and they've trebled in price, and you think, shit, maybe I should have fucking hang on to them a little bit. Do not live with regret, guys. Morning, Anthony. Good to see you. Yeah, but Daniel, do you realise you used to have 3,000 XRP in your wallet to keep it open? That'll come down, that, mate. As the value goes up, they're not going to make you keep 20 XRP if XRP is worth £1,000 each. You're not going to need to keep 20 grand in the account to keep it open, mate. No fucking chance. No chance. Go and look at the history of how much XRP you actually had to keep in the wallet. I'll guarantee it comes down to 0.5 XRP in the end. It's not a fucking drop. Seriously, it will change. It has changed. It does change. Oliver, back to your 27 trillion, mate. 27 trillion is the price of the pie. You have a piece of the pie. Selling the pie changes the price of the pie. If the person buying the slice of the pie doesn't want to pay what you think the pie is worth, he's going to bring the price down. That queue of people will bring the price down. Whereas if you have a queue of people making orders who are willing to pay more than what you think it's worth because they see more value in it than you actually see, they're going to drive the price up. So depending on the pressure of the order book and the people willing to buy, the actual supply and demand, because when one queue starts proper smashing it and it just starts going their way, and before you know it, the price is going up a little bit, the other people who didn't really think it's at that value are going to be looking like, well, shit, it's actually worth more than I thought. It's actually worth more than I thought. It's like, imagine an empty car lot with a car in it. And there's a guy stood next to the car, and some guy walks around, doesn't know what cars are, hasn't got a fucking clue. The guy's like, do you want to buy this? He's like, oh, what the fuck is it? It's like, it's a car. So you put the key in, turn it on, and it takes you places and that. You have to drive it and learn and all that, though. It's like, what? I have to learn? Like, yeah, you go and pay for a test and all that. It's like, I'm not paying for a test just so I can use your foot. So I have to go and pay to get a driving, well, I have to go pay to do a driving test, pay to get a driving license, and then pay you to have that. And that will take me, I can use that to go places. Nah, fuck that, mate. I don't need that. I'll just keep walking, me, bro. I'll just keep walking, me. But next thing, the guy's walking out the parking lot, and 100 people start running in the parking lot. 100 people, and he's like, what the fuck's going on here? And they're like, bro, that guy's selling a car 50% off. It's fucking epic value. And he's like, you what? 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 It's great. What? Runs back, and he's like, hang on, is this actually, so this is actually worth something to all you? That car, all of a sudden, that guy's like, fuck, why didn't I buy it? All these guys could have been running at me. He missed the boat because he didn't really understand what the investment was. He didn't really understand that there was 100 people around the corner desperate for the fucking car and willing to pay the price like that. It's interesting, supply and demand. It changes in a fucking heartbeat. 20k to hold a wallet. More than airport lounge and Netflix perks for that. Morning, CAD investor. How would you say quad without a Q, without a U? QAD without a U. CAD, quad. Because you can't go qua. You can't qua. Because quad, 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 Q, 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 QE. Do you know what, mate? 4-year cycle history and all that. I don't know, mate. I don't know what to subscribe to anymore, considering I used to subscribe to the needing to be a recession between 5 and 8 years, every 5 and 8 years. I used to believe that bullshit. And now we went fucking 10 years. We went 12 years out on me. What's up with Visa getting their own pound for blockchain and currency now? That means Visa basically don't need XRP anymore. Does this make them competition? Yes, Easy Care Landscaping. Do you know I didn't actually recognise you then, Brad, until I saw you pick? Yes, mate. These are getting their own pattern for blockchain and that. It's just another network, innit, mate? Like I keep saying, the more networks, the better. We said back in the day that healthy competition for a level playing field. Like, you can't have healthy competition if there's only one choice, can you? It's not a healthy choice of TV providers if it's only fucking Sky, is it? One Sky, one Virgin, one BT, one Hulu, one fucking this, one that. And we've got a nice little variety. You're gonna buy a mobile phone. We've got Samsung, got Apple, got Huawei, got LG, got loads of different mates. We've got a healthy competition. Again, let's forget that 7 corporations own the whole thing, but we've got a healthy competition on the shelf. Regarding Internet of Value, ILP, and all the rest of it, we're going to have a healthy competition on the shelf. or you can choose what you want. And make no mistake, the people at both sides are going to have to come to a decision on the bridge asset. Highly likely they're going to choose XRP. If they don't, you're going to have to question what's going through their head, what they're using instead. Nothing we know about can keep up with it. Nothing we know about is as trusted as it. Nothing we know about is as fast as it or as reliable as it. It's a very interesting time. It's just healthy competition the way I see it. People always ask what's enough XRP. Enough is a relative term to an individual's idea of value, commitment, priorities, and ability to stay emotionally detached. Well said, Aaron. It's also only as much as you can lose at that time. You might be willing to lose $1,000 at the moment, and in 9 months' time, you've lost your job, you're struggling for bills, and you've got to sell half your XRP before you wanted to. Don't be ashamed of having to sell, and don't pull down other people for selling. David Schwartz does his house up by selling an asset that he helped create, and people fucking try and tear him down. Jed McCaleb selling an asset he helped create. Don't fucking shame people for the price they're selling at just because you need it fucking 10 times more value than they do. Just worry about your own shit. So people need to concentrate on. Just worry about your own shit. You ain't where? You ain't where? You ain't where? Who are where? Who are where? You are where? You ain't where? You ain't where? You are where? You are where? You ain't where? You ain't where? Stop it, man. You'll have me doing that all fucking day. You are where? You are where? Morning, Courtney Bill from Game Bank. It is a pleasure to have you here. Looks like Ripple going after the bond market also now. That's when they're going after everything. Every single market will have an ILP, XRP, API on the back end of it, bro. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Swift might use Corda, but the Corda settler DApp uses XRP and ILP. So where's your second bridge? Is it XLM? Is that all there is? Oh, it's just XRP and XLM because it's the second bridge, that, isn't it? It's interesting. Corda settler DApp. I thought I saw a squirrel planting nuts in my veg patch, brah. Hey! Little bastard. Squirrels planting nuts in the veg patch. Corda settler DApp. Someone told me something about a Corda settler DApp the other day, and I think I had to keep it quiet. I hate, like, people send. I don't hate it. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you for it. Thank you. But yeah, people send me stuff and then they're like, yeah, but don't tell anyone. And you're like, can I tell them all, but just not tell them it was from you? And they're like, no, because if it comes out, they're going to know it's from me. I'm like, fuck. And then you get a message 3 weeks later, like, oh, it's already out now, mate. You can let it go. Like, yay, woo, Volkswagen document. I couldn't share the Volkswagen document at first because they didn't know who I got it off. But then eventually, it was out anyway. I found it on my own. I messaged him like, yeah, I've managed to find this Volkswagen document without your document. I've got it myself. I'm gonna share it now. It's too early for that. That is one of the weirdest words I've ever heard. You ain't where? You ain't where? You are where? You ain't where? All XRP require for ODL to transact. All other currency variations, XRP is the table. All other things will stand on. Pre-allocations provide liquidity to jumpstart the system. Morning, Chuck Ferguson. Mornings. Squirrels oddle nuts, mate. They're gonna get shot if they keep messing about. What was I going Google for? Corda settler. DApp. Blockchain Corda settler, Ripple, and Swift a marriage, au revoir. I think they're all going to lean on each other. It's like my last blog was about IBM. I mean, this is from some guys put the blog, not put the blog names. I don't know why. But the last blog was about IBM Worldwide on a blockchain-based platform for global payments and other competitors in a blockchain payments world. I've written about regulators Ripple. Both are thereby targeting centralized payment messages network SWIFT. Late last year, R3 launched its new Corda settler platform using Ripple's XRP. But in it comes in January, Swift announced a partnership with R3 where they are collaborating to test Corda Settler, specifically to integrate GPI with Corda Settler. However, Corda Settler depends on the XRP token. The partnership puts Swift and Ripple and the two rivals in an indirect connection. What a load of bollocks. Swift, API, GPI connected to the Corda Settler dApp. Ripple, ILP, XRP, APIs connected and linked to the back end of the Corda Settler dApp. Interoperability through an internet of value. Leave the rest of your cynicism fucking article bullshit out of it, mate. It's because that's all they do. They go, oh, well, they're doing this and they're doing that, so who's really going to do it? Without just saying, like, mate, you're talking like Virgin are going out of business because Sky exists. It's not happening. Healthy competition. Oh, negative interest. That's when it's proper gone on it. That's when it so we're at the top of the hill then, and you just need to make sure that you roll down safely, mate, and don't hit a fucking brick or tree. Will Ripple buy out R3? See, I don't think they will. See, Ripple don't want to start buying out and investing in absolutely everyone. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll just be seeing like they're trying to fucking take over. It's an interesting one, but R3 are part of Hyperledger and the W3C community, so they're going to partner with absolutely everyone they can. You need to understand that these guys have already partnered with 400 and odd people. What's one more fucking company? Oh, but they're partnering with them doesn't mean they're not going to use XRP anymore. Like, what? What did you think will happen if the US goes to negative interest rates regarding XRP? Do you think XRP will be used for liquidity? I've always said I believe it's the safety net, me. The only real true question is, at what point do they bring the net in and who do they fucking save? Do you know what I mean? They're already pumping a shitload of money into the market to hold it up. It's I don't think any of us can really fucking say, can we? They're gonna speculate. We can speculate all we want. But with the negative interest rates comes the stupid lending and credit and all that stuff, don't it? It's fucking it's the kind of shit Kurt should have done a video on, because he's the man with all that shit. Let's see the Bank of England. Let's see if there's any news about Bank of England interest rates. They're gonna pay you to borrow and all that shit. They usually do it with commercial banks. So they'll pay the commercial banks and that to take money and borrow money in it, and then the commercial bank then throws it on its customers in the hope that it's not. The Bank of England might end up paying you to borrow money. UK banks might start charging negative interest rates from next year, top economists are hinting. A banker, according to the ancient adage, is someone who lends you an umbrella when it's sunny and wants it back as soon as it starts to rain. That is funny as fuck. Compose yourself, Scott. Oh, I mean, it can't be ancient adage because banking's not ancient yet. But a banker is somebody who lends you the brolly when it's sunny and wants it back when it rains. I love that. When you're in a tough spot, when you need it the most, it's always more difficult to take out a loan than it is when, like Scrooge McDuck, you're swimming in cash. Credit ratings get fucked. We need to tear them down. Or I want to see Royal Bank of Scotland's credit rating. I want to see the Bank of England's credit rating. I want to see fucking Spain's credit rating. And I want to see America's credit rating with 21 trillion debt. You're going to fucking have a go at mine. So you either get rid of fucking credit rating or you start rating your fucking selves. Banks. I'm done, me. I'm ready to fight this system, me, you know, next decade. But imagine a world where banks actually pay you to borrow money for them, from them. Because it's a world we might soon be seeing more of. After interest rates in Japan and parts of Europe turn negative, there is growing speculation that the United Kingdom Central Bank might also resort to cutting borrowing costs below zero to cushion the economy from coronavirus. Yeah, because it's C19 shutdown, innit? Not like anyone knew this was going to happen before there was a virus about, is it? The Bank of England cut rates twice as the C19 crisis escalated in March. They now stand at a record low of 0.1%. When was this written? This was written 11 hours ago. Shit. Oh, shit. Seems you was fucking right, bro. Shit. There's only one way it's likely to go. Many top officials, most economists, say the bank's next move will be to add to the firepower of its £65 billion bond buying programme as soon as June the 18th. At the end of its next scheduled meeting, but investors on Monday began to price the possibility of the Bank of England overcoming its long-standing reluctance to take rates below zero from the end of 2020 as it contemplates what could be the biggest economic slump in 3 centuries. It may not be seen exactly. It started looking more like, in the UK, Bank of England's chief economist, and how the bank was looking more urgently at negative interest rates, as well as buying riskier assets. What are riskier assets? And their chief economist at the Bank of England. What do you mean by riskier assets, bruh? What do you mean by riskier assets, bruh? What do you mean, bruh? Do you mean the XRP, man? Do you mean you're going to buy the XRP with the riskier assets, man? You're going to buy some XRP? The economy is weaker than a year ago. We are now at the effective lower bound. So in that sense, it's something we'll need to look at and are looking at with somewhat greater immediacy. Haldane told the Daily Telegraph newspaper in an interview, how could we not be? On Monday, rate setter Sylvain Delaire, Tenreyo, yeah. She talked about benefits of negative rates, citing the experience of all countries in Europe. My personal view, which comes from the reading of the European experiences, is that negative rates have had a positive effect in the sense of having a fairly powerful transmission to real activity, she told the London School of Economics webinar. Very, very interesting. I find it interesting that we're looking at negative rates and the possibility of negative rates in certain areas. I find it interesting that they're blaming it all on C19 when we know damn well it was due to poor banking and poor decisions. Absolute fucking ridiculous. My Nano Ledger S came today. Now I get to figure out how to use it. I'm clueless on how to move my investments. There are Nano Ledger videos on our channel and other people's channels. If you are struggling and need some help, give us a shout. I'll help you if and where I can, mate. Negative rates should accelerate the collapse even more. Negative rates will force more people to lend. The shit lenders are going to get burnt and the good lenders are going to increase the value. Like always. I am becoming a better lender. Back in the day when I didn't really understand that, I was a shit lender. Got me in debt, got me CCJs, got me the rest of it. Still owing me more for that exact fucking reason. Alcohol had a big say in that, I must admit. Assault, don't rush. Follow tutorial, move 25 XRP to test, 25 XRP again, send 25 XRP again. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Nice rising green, that is nice. Nice advice. Could you elaborate on your biggest bear trap in history theory? Well, the biggest bear trap in history theory is basically people are just waiting for it to run. People are just waiting for it to run. But the fact of the matter is, what's the term? Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. What's the fibs do? Fibonacci retracement. What the traders expect at the top, a retracement to a dip and a new, better entry. What do a lot of them do? Sell at a expected top, buy back in, buy the dip, and then they have more. They've accumulated. Sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low. $1.20 XRP, sell high, expecting 80 cents a few days later. Don't drop below 110, just fucking goes. There's your bear trap. So a bear trap would be when it's going up. In my opinion, this is my version of the biggest bear trap in history. People's going to think it's going to turn, come back down a little bit. People's going to be selling around that area or expecting to come back in low here and buy back in ready for the big moon. That's just going to be a, ooh, kid you. Oh, you thought it was going down, but it's not. Up it up to $1.20, down to $1.05. Boom, gone. Fucking gone. All them orders in at 80 cents and 90 cents are just fucking dead in the water, mate. Dead in the water. Now imagine you did it with 100% XRP. You're out. You're out, mate. You're fucking out. You sold 100% of your XRP at $1.20 in the hope that you're getting back in at 75 cents because some guy on Twitter said it's going fucking down. He's turned bearish on the fucking 5 minute. Oh, he's turned bearish on the 5 minute. You better fucking dip. You better short that shit. You better short that shit. Sell. Buy the dip. And it just doesn't fucking go. Keeps going. You're out. This is why if you're going to sell at the tops and buy in the dips, only be doing 10 to 20% of it. Don't fucking sell your whole fucking stack to buy back in lower because you get caught in a bear trap. You're fucked. Do you think precious metals will drop in cost again to give us another good buying opportunity? I think, Goku, that it's fucking all over the fucking place, and I think it's going to continue to be like that until next summer. I don't think we're going to be in a full run until next summer, but that's just what I think. Not what's going to happen. Who knows? Just the main thing is to get happy. Get happy with the amount you've got. Get happy with when you plan to either sell it or asset swap. Don't sell it if you can't. You're taxed then immediately. Do you know how to avoid tax? In with your property, because the UK is pretty much nailing XRP and crypto as property. If you sell it into pounds, you're fucking taxed on it, mate. Sold it. It's like selling your house for pounds. You're taxed on it. Taxable revenue, that. It's a taxable earning. Right? Now, if you swapped a house for another house, do they tax you? Asset swap. You swap a house for a more valuable house because the old woman wanted a smaller house. So you swap your smaller house for her bigger house. You're not paying tax on an asset swap. But if you then ever sell the big house that you've only paid 100 grand for your small house and you now own a 250 grand house that you're going to sell for 300 bags, you're going to pay tax on them earnings. So asset swap. Swap your XRP on an app that allows you to fucking swap it. Not a swap for a stable coin. Swap 2,000 XRP for a house. Swap 1,500 XRP for a car. Swap so many XRP for a t-shirt. You fucking asset swap. If they label it as property, treat it as fucking property. And don't sell it in profit, swap it. Seriously. Oh, history will show buying any... Oh, mate. History will show if you got XRP under $20, you nailed it. I agree with a bear trap. Probably drop 11% to flush out stop losses. Then they'll never get back in. Thousands will sell at $1 to $3. You're not fucking wrong, mate. You are not wrong. I'm not selling till 7k of gold. Oh, they are some strong hands, bro. I haven't sold in 4 years. Stupid fucks. Stay strong. That nearly hurt then. That was a tender spot. Supposed to hit the fucking centre. I hit my armpit. I legitimately fucking no pressure point there, aren't you, on your armpit? I just hit my own fucking pressure point. What's the best? What's best for cash in the bank if you see negative rates? Do we get it out? I'm not an economist, mate. I don't fucking know enough about economics and how banking actually works and how the negative interest rates actually affect lending. Now, I was under the impression that a negative interest rate from a central bank meant a central bank will pay a commercial bank to lend off it, and then the commercial bank pushes that credit on someone else. That article was speaking about it like the central bank's going to pay me to borrow money off them. Well, give a fucking ring, man. Give a bell. I'll take some fucking dough off you. If you're going to pay me to take it, you're fucking right, I will. Take another CCJ. Fuck it. 100%, you won't need to cash out. What we're doing here, guys? What the fuck are we doing here, guys? Like, we're talking about an internet of value where you can instantaneously swap any asset for any other fucking asset. So why is people talking about cashing out pre $5? Honestly, man, I mean, post $5, pre $5 makes sense because there's a good chance we get $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 again before we've got the apps to swap for the fucking house, to swap it for the car. It's not like you can go on Zoom now and just walk in a Lamborghini shop and swap fucking. Hey mate, it might only take 30 minutes if you get them to download Zoom into the fucking point of sale. But you know what I'm saying? It's not quite ready for it yet. Once Fortnite's got its marketplace, once Tesco's got its online and DLT marketplace with an IRP API, once all the other shops are ready, you ain't gonna need to sell. So there is gonna come a point where it reaches a certain price, utility, and scope of internet of value. There's going to be no reason to sell them because you can pretty much access any network you want to buy the item and just do an asset swap. Companies do it all the time, asset swaps. It's crazy. What's that, Michael? Because again, I'm not really in the real estate. I don't really understand the legislation and the regulation around real estate and investments. But if I buy a house and live in it for 12 months, it's then a tax-free sale. That's quite interesting. I sound like I've studied business, Alan. I did a small business course when I became a PT, but I didn't go deep as I should have. I didn't go as deep as I should have, and I wish I did know a little bit more about certain industries. Like I say, I don't know fuck all about the real estate industry and how it's going to really work, but I know it's going to be on ILP in the end, and you'll be able to swap an house for an house like fucking that. You'll be able to swap XRP for an house like that. You'll be able to buy an house after you've viewed it in VR by standing in a shed in the garden, and the key will get sent to your fucking phone, and your phone's just going to let you in your house. I've said this before in other videos. I was going to be like, "Hi, Scott. Welcome to your new home, Scott. How you do, Scott? You like me to put the kettle on, Scott?" I'm just like, yo, just bought the gas from the shed. It's going to be sick. You know, like you have for sale signs at the moment. Well, there's just going to be a for sale network where if you're walking past the house, there'll be a shed that you just walk in and put your VR headset on and just fucking walk by. Like, yo, this house is pretty sick. I'm going to buy it here and now. Or you'll be at home on a website, having a VR walk around the house, a little VR tour. I've already started scanning them in VR and all that. It's just a matter of time. You can walk around it with your mouse, but it's just a matter of time until you put the actual VR headset on. 3D scanning houses and that now, it's going there, mate. It really, really is going there. We like that idea of going on, never sell for fiat, just pay for the new island. You know this. Have you watched the videos from a year ago? Then all this for anyone else. Yes, I know you well. Cool. How do you think HMRC will deal with us exchanging digital assets for property? Surely they will come up with a way of you paying asset conversion tax. It is the UK after all. We invented tax. Yeah, and we're also going to fucking change it in the next 25 years, all of that. So, how do HMRC deal with my mum giving me that house before she dies and me selling it for 170 grand? How do they deal with that? Be the same. Property taxation will be the same. If you're going to give someone something, you inherit something, inheritance tax, the asset swap tax, you finally sell the fucking house. XRP is not a currency, mate. This is the thing. It's a multifunctional digital asset that's being treated as property at the moment. I'm saying if it stays as property, the UK don't come out and say, right, we actually fucked up. Shouldn't be property. It's a digital currency, not a digital asset. I mean, it's a multifunctional digital asset that can be used as a currency or a bridge asset or a store of value or whatever the fucking hell you want. But it's also just a bridge asset and been declared as property. It's an asset. It's property. It's an asset. It's the way as people don't call a pound coin an asset, do they? Because it's not. It's an IOU. It ain't fucking shit. Pound coin don't mean shit, mate. So you got JK Rowling on fucking Twitter try to act like Bitcoin and XRP is not real. Well, they're more real than your fiat currency will ever be, mate. They're worth more value than your fiat currency will ever be, mate. I've said it before. Get a £20 note out of your pocket, burn it, go to the bank and prove you owned it. You're not. They're not going to give you another 20 quid. You had £20, it was yours. But because it was set on fire and turned to ash, it's now worth nothing. That don't sit right with me, mate. You don't even need to burn the note. Take it to the Bank of England and say, look, Brad, this says, like, Bank of England, I promised to pay the bearer the sum of £20. Well, I want the £20 worth of wool, please. Bank is going to be like, what? So like, well, I understand that your bullion of gold can't be split to £20, so I want some wool or sugar. I want £20 worth of a fucking commodity, of property, of actual fucking value, and not an IOU that says you promised to pay the bearer bullshit. Promise to give the bearer bullshit. You fucking iron. Your money ain't worth shit, mate. So it's all going to assets. And yeah, it is interesting how Inland Revenue and HMRC are going to deal with it when they're considering them property. But they have to consider them property because they're more than currencies. Elon Musk, Neuralink. Let's not get into deep talk this morning. Can't do that. Inheritance tax is the most evil tax in the world. Taxing twice it is. We need to abolish it. We need democracy through consensus to abolish some of these taxes. They need fucking abolishing, mate. Half of them are just paying for the politicians' fucking bonuses and expenses. Half of your taxes are paying politicians' wages, mate. And then half of your taxes are fixing fucking roads every blue moon. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, they pay policemen, they pay firemen and nurses and all that shit. And I'm pretty sure if they made it a decentralized payment system where the people dictated how much they was earning and it got put in cryptographically, I'm pretty sure nurses and firemen and policemen would be earning slightly more money. It's interesting. 50% capital gains before 12 months. What? Yeah, she's having a laugh with everyone at go to like Ethereum. Max says she's just having a laugh on Twitter, isn't she? But it's funny how like she'll engage all the Bitcoin and Ethereum comments and all that, but she won't engage internet value or XRP comments. Andrew Sims, I appreciate that comment, mate. Thank you very much. All I'm just trying to be as real as I possibly can, mate. I'm just trying to say how it is, how I see it. It can come across a little bit like I'm a knob at times, but I've got to be myself, mate. I can't lie. I can't sugarcoat shit. It just is what it is. Some people are going to love me for it. Some people are going to hate me for it, but I'm me. Well, Scott, you can open a Panama bank account and I'll give you debit cards. It's all on Bitpanda in Austria and I send money overseas. Interesting. Bank account in Panama, eh? I do actually want to get away from the UK banks very soon. It's actually a ball ache to close them, innit? You've got to do it by writing and that. It's fucking weird, mate. I've been trying to close on that West account for about 10 years. They sent me a new card. I thought it was closed. I'm like, thank God that account's actually closed. And then 2 years later, a new card comes through the door for the account. I'm like, you take it. I thought this was shut. Rang them up 20 times. Like, shut the fucking account. I don't want to bank with you anymore. Shut the account. delete the information you've got on there. Get fucking rid of it. And they've not. Cheeky bastards. I'm telling you now, when the social score and the fucking reputation, online reputation points and all this credit score and all that, I want fucking access to theirs, mate. They've got all this info on me now and saying all this data on my credit rating and blah, blah, blah. Mate, I'm in about 3 or 4 grand debt. Some people have got 200 grand houses they've not paid for. America's got 21 fucking trillion. You know what I mean? Look, Scott Pratt sat here on like 3 or 4 grand debt and getting CCJs and shit through the fucking doors. And America and all the bankers are getting away with it, blaming shit on the virus. Oh, fucking cheeky bastards. Anywho, we just plod along and get happy. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. Woke up this morning. That's all that matters, mate. Eyes open. I'm fucking grateful for that. I really am. I'm truly grateful for waking up this morning. It's the most grateful thing. It's the most appreciative thing that we experience in our whole lives every single day of any life. Because you ain't experiencing anything else if your eyes don't open first. You're just fucking not. Food time. Scott 10. It is. It is. Do you also see UK banks eventually being like the exchanges and letting you have digital wallet? I've got a mad theory for banks, bro. Paying with any asset of value to anywhere in the world, anyone, any person paying with anything of value to anywhere in the world. That's an interesting turn. Now, what if I pay with gold? Where is that gold? Where's the smart contract for the gold? Who's holding the gold? So, I think banks will not only become similar to exchanges in a sense, they will let you exchange. They'll have their own Forex exchange section where you can change your digital assets and fiat assets. I think they will push for it to be illegal for any other institution to hold gold, insured custodial gold, insured custodial precious metals, insured custodial oil, sugar, wool, whatever the fuck it is. You're talking commodities of value from diamonds to all sorts that are on smart contracts that someone owns, but he wants someone else to mine for him. The bankers are going to be their minders. I can see banks turning into big fuck off vaults. I can see Fort Knox and all them expanding into massive digital cryptographically locked vaults that only open when the smart contract changes changes state and the ownership changes state and the gold might need moving to somewhere else, or you just need to make sure that you acknowledge that someone else now owns it. It's fucking interesting what banks are going to become, mate. I don't know, but I expect them to become big fucking forts. Big forts and being the only ones who are like, look, we're the ones that hold this, and you're not allowed to hold it. Wasn't there talk about Canada holding gold illegal? So you can own it, but not hold it. It fucking, mate, interesting where it's going to go. And this is why we need to get a grip of the democracy through consensus. So it's all of us making the decisions. We don't want fucking bankers making the laws anymore, mate. If you think politicians make laws, you're wrong. Politicians put laws through for bankers. Bankers come up with the laws, and then the politicians put them through for them. They vote on them, and you'll have half of the cabinet who fucking hates, who don't want to do it, and half the cabinet who's like, no, we're fucking doing it. And then the brown envelopes will get passed away, so the vote that needed to be had gets had, and the new law gets passed, and there's no 10-deck cigs anymore, even though no one has to smokers. Little things like that piss me off. Just enforcing a law on me without even asking me. Well, I can't buy a pack of 10 cigarettes anymore. I've got to buy 20. What? Who the fuck would have enforced that if they asked the people? No smoker would have enforced that, and non-smokers wouldn't have cared. So where the fuck did that law come from? There's another little bit of control. You'll fucking live how we say. You'll fucking buy the amount of shit we tell you to buy, and you'll do it for as long as we fucking tell you to, or fuck off. It's getting to me, mate. So you could see governments saying you need to declare your digital assets and send to an approved bank so they know how much they can tax you for. Not quite, Oliver. I think they'll let you keep the digital assets, but if you own a smart contract that says you own a ton of gold, you're not going to own a ton of gold, it's worth fucking dough. But imagine you own a ton of gold, you got a smart contract. That smart contract dictates that you own a ton of gold that's in London Fort. It's in a fort in London, and they're holding it for you, that bank. And now you sell that gold to someone in China. That man in China's then got a decision to keep that gold in London Bank or have it moved to somewhere else. Now the government's going to let that gold go somewhere else other than a bank. That's what I mean. And the bank's going to let other institutions hold the gold. Not like your safety deposit box stores in town. They're not banks. The safety deposit stores. There's one in Manchester that I'll be using very soon when it all fucking moons up. It's getting locked in there, most of my shit. It's only like £80 a year for a small one. But are they going to be able to, like, it's fucking interesting. I don't know how it's going to go. I just like to speculate it, like to talk about it. I think banks will no doubt 100% almost become exchanges, and then they will dictate where the storage and custodial side of it all comes from. People just talk about custodial assets for the super rich, but what about the custodial commodities? What about storing the commodities that are protected by a smart contract? They need to be chipped, so if they're stolen, they can be tracked and recovered. It's massive. Massive. Courtney Bill, do I think crypto's safe on exchanges? Yes and no. I know I'm giving both sides of the answers at time, guys, and it's hard to follow and it's hard to know what I truly believe is going to happen. Your assets are safe on Binance until Binance gets hacked. Then they might not be safe. They might get robbed. But Binance will pay out. Does that help? LBX. LBX seemed a good one, didn't it? I even fucking used it in 2018. I stopped using it though. Stopped promoting it. Stopped like telling people to go and have a look at it. Next thing, they've done a runner. Would I have expected that? What the fuck? Bitch, who got hacked, I'd expect them to pay out. Is your crypto safe on your ledger, mate? Do you think your crypto's safe on your ledger? Because let me tell you right now, if you keep your ledger in your bedroom and your piece of cardboard with your restore words written on the cardboard or paper, and that's in your bedroom too, and your bedroom burns down one day, you've lost your crypto. You think it's safe on a ledger. Don't let that ledger get destroyed and lose your restore words, mate, because you fucking lost it. It's gone. Crypto gone. Why do you think we've got in most of our descriptions crypto tag and crypto steal? Go and get yourself a crypto steal. Because seriously, you can put your restore words in the crypto steal. That's surviving the fire. So then if you had a crypto steal in your house, in your bedroom burnt down, you've still got your restore words. Yeah, your ledger's a puddle of fucking melting plastic and metal. But you can go and buy a new ledger, restore ledger, put your restore words in, and boom, your crypto's there. But on a ledger device with the fucking restore words right next to it, you must have a fucking, you might as well have a toast wallet on a piece of paper, mate. And that's the truth. Some sour diesel or something, mate. I need some Stardog. I'm not a massive, Stardog and Blues, mate. Binance or Bitrue, I would personally say the safe. I've actually got more on Bitrue because of the power pigger. I'm not going to lie. I pulled another 2k XRP off Bitrue the other day. We got 4k in power pigger. I'm pretty sure we're near the point where we've almost took out a power piggy what we put in. But yeah, exchanges, it's an hard one, innit? It's an hard one. You should be having like, I mean, I've got 3 ledgers in my house, mate. Like, I just got one. I've got 3 ledgers in my house. Do you know what I mean? I've got like, that's just ledgers. I've got 3 ledgers. I've got 2 LE pals. I've got a safe pal. Crypto all over the gaff. My Ether wallet through the ledgers. You could open my ledger on Ledger Live and not see half of the assets on it. You know that? You don't see half the assets on my ledger because you'd have to open it in new. You have to go on my Ether wallet, plug the ledger in, access my Ether wallet with the fucking ledger, and then you'd see the ERC20 tokens. Ain't seen them on the fucking ledger on a desktop. I never do anyway. If someone knows how to, fucking tell me, because I can't. Send me yours. I've got a spare key, yeah, Carl. Carl. Fucking Carl. Wrote a small story from your passphrases. Nice, that's a good idea, that. The ledger seed, well said, Daniel. The seed phrase of your ledger, the restore phrase, is more valuable than the fucking ledger itself, guys. Don't make no mistake with that. Mine's in a Faraday box. Don't really think you'd need it in Faraday box, but that's interesting, boo. Got your ledgers in Faraday boxes. Put your phone in it, boo. Take your ledgers out of the Faraday box. Put your phone in it and ring your phone. See if it rings while it's in the box. If your phone rings while it's in the box don't work. If the phone loses signal while it's in the box and doesn't ring, the box works. Bear in mind, most ledgers need to be plugged in, and you can't send a signal to them to hack them. The Bluetooth one possibly. But yeah, if you want to test your Faraday boxes, guys, put your mobile phone in it, turned on, and ring the phone. If the phone has got no signal, the box is working. If the phone rings, you've been sold a dud box. It's actually not a Faraday box. Or if it is a Faraday cage, the holes are too big and it's letting a 4G signal in, which means it's letting most internet signals in, and it's definitely going to let 5G in because that's an even smaller wave. So you'd need tiny fucking mesh for 5G. Fucking hell, the MRI room meshes, the holes are like that. Legitimately, they could put your fucking head through the holes in a mesh on an MRI room. All copper tape up the walls. It's all wooden. It's on that phone. In fact, is it on that phone? Because it proper interests me that. Please have some work pics at the bottom here, Scotty boy. Yeah, work pics. A wooden room with copper pasted, not glued and folded and pressed to the timber. So it creates a copper kit. It's not reconnecting, bad signal, anything. So basically, MRI room, everything within that room, inside that copper, can't be, it needs to be non-ferrous metals. There's all that aluminium on them, all them bolts and that are alley bolts. You then get any electricians who've never worked on an MRI or anything watching this video now, or anyone on site who knows a little bit about electrics and eddy currents. When you send 2 cables of the same circuit through 2 different metal holes, it creates a little, what you call an eddy current, and can fuck shit up. That's the MRI room filter to stop the interference. Interference, mate. So that stops any eddy currents actually entering that room. Faraday cages will only stop the signal they're meant to stop if the holes are the right size. So when you go from centimeter wave to millimeter wave, you can stop a centimeter wave with a hole a centimeter big, but anything that's smaller than 10 mil, straight through that centimeter hole, straight fucking through it. I'd be interested. So you did that bit when your phone didn't ring. Nice, nice. Give one to my grandma. No. Nicholas come on. What? What's that? Good looking uncle. I missed that. Lost brethren, open your ledger. Go to the XRP wallet. Deposit. Like any other wallet on any other thing, like deposit. Find the address. Copy the address. Because it's a ledger, hard wallet, and cold storage, it is just a wallet on the XRPL, right? It's your fucking wallet, one wallet, meaning no tag. So on Wirex put you in a pool and you have a tag in that, don't you? So you put no tag. And just put the address, no tag, and send it, and it'll go to your ledger. Sending it the other way when you're in an exchange. So the exchange has their wallet on XRPL, and then it becomes a pool. So the wallet address is the pool's address, and your tag then lets them know which wallet within the pool, which little pocket of value within that pool is yours, basically. So to send to the Ledger Nano, it will be addressed without a tag. If it's your first hardware cold storage device, it will likely be the first wallet you've ever had without a tag. So that's why there's no tag. Tags are from wallets that are pooled. So if you get the Binance, you go to your Binance or Wirex wallet, right? Get the wallet address, not the tag. Just copy the wallet address, go to XRP scan, put that address in, and it will tell you how much XRP is in the pool that you're in. And then your tag and wallet is within that pool. It gets a little confusing for someone when they first start looking at that stuff. Phoenix, fireproof, waterproof, unshielded case, EMF. Damn, that is all out that. Wait, Ledger Live can get hacked. Your computer can get hacked. Remember that, like, right. Advice. Personally, I would never, ever access my ledger on a public network. For instance, do not go in fucking Costa Coffee. Get your fucking ledger out on the table, letting people see that you're connecting a ledger to a laptop and play with your fucking value, and open your ledger connected to that Wi-Fi in that fucking coffee shop. Because there could be some guy sat in the corner with his lappy out that's in your laptop like that, and just after you do your transaction and you think you fucking closed it, he's actually managed to keep something open and move a bit of value that you didn't see moving, right? While your ledger is locked away, not connected to the computer, it is offline cold storage. Cold storage cannot be hacked. Once you plug it in, turn it on, and you've got it there, it's become hot, it's open, you've accessed it. Anyone then with access to your laptop or network has also got access to what you've opened. Do you know what I mean? The same way, just the same way if you went in a coffee shop and accessed Facebook, someone could fucking hack your Facebook. It's no different when it comes to something like that. Especially when we don't really understand how people hack and stuff. So maybe watch how you get hacked in a coffee shop and make sure you never fucking put yourself in that position. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't walk around extremely paranoid that your ledger can get hacked. Like I've just said to Boo, I'm pretty sure putting a wired ledger in a Faraday cage has no bearing at all. It needs a wired connection, most ledgers. Now, a Bluetooth ledger may be a little different. John Edwards, don't talk about electric, turn the lights on our house and the water taps started running. God. PayPal rolls out QR code payments to 27 markets worldwide. Interesting. I don't think QR code payment's gonna last me. I don't think QR code payment will last. I think the next generation are not gonna queue up in a queue and want to open a fucking app and type in like any codes or anything and open it and scan a code when we're already on contactless that can just offer the phone. Do we need QR code payments when we've got our NFC payments, near field connection? Do we need QR? Now, the QR code on the milk that we saw in the video last week, where you can track the milk and all that stuff, that's great. QR codes for that is absolutely amazing. You want to see where your chicken came from and how your chicken grew up and what kind of conditions it was living in throughout its life and what it was fed and the logistical travel and what temperature it was in the van. Has it been refrigerated since death and all that stuff? QR code's great for that. But for payment, I don't see it washing with the next generation. They're just going to be like, bro, I want to pay with my watch. Watching scanning no QR code, it's just going to go boom. It's interesting. Interesting. What did Oliver say? There's just since Scott, we see 4 digits one day. It will be cost effective to hire a mercenary group to raid your house. If you ever hear a chopper above the house, check market cap. If there's ever the chopper above my house pre-moon, it'll be me going to my new house. Hire mercenary. Alan, go in your Zoom app and turn on two-way fact on the Zoom app will do fingerprint and face. Make sure it's your finger and face can only open your Zoom, and ain't no one getting in it. That's not really any different than your Wirex. Your Wi-Fi is at home, innit? But you mean your Wi-Fi on your phone? Because if you've been access to McDonald's or anything, just be wary if you're out and on Wi-Fi when you're accessing Wirex and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Just be wary where you're accessing it, where you're actually opening it. And yeah, the fact that some of the apps actually stay open on your phone. Wirex, you just open Wirex, just opening it. You very rarely it signs out. So you either sign yourself out actively when you're coming off the app, or just be wary how much you've actually got on there and that. Do you know what I mean? I said to Boo the other day, I said to my mum, sorry, with a blocking of the Wirex card, and the fact that you can just move a little bit of your GBP funds to the card, and you need to fucking put your 2-factor authentication in it. It's a bit of a shitter if the 2-factor authentication on the same phone kind of thing. But you can leave your phone at home or locked, signed out of Wirex, with your daily allowance moved to the card. And if anyone gets access to your card or finds your card, there's only a certain amount of your balance on it until you get home and block the card. And then you either have I actually lost the card, or have I just misplaced it? You give yourself a day or two to find it. If you don't find it, you order another card. And while you're waiting for the new card, you re-sign into the app and just use the app to pay. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same with Zoom, innit? Only move what you want to spend that day to the Zoom. With contactless payment, it's what the bank should be doing. The bank should have a little attached account now. Daily allowance, contactless allowance, what you move there each morning. So if you lose your card, that's all that can be spent through the card on contactless, because contactless is a little bit scary, especially if it starts going up to high value purchases. No one wants people to be able to use the card. QR is not the future of payments. You want to protect yours from EMP weapons and solar flares. Right, this is an interesting one. Anyone in the comments right now, off the top of your head, does EMP damage technology or just turn it off? Do you know what I mean? Does it actually damage it? Does it need replacing, repairing, or just switching back on? Because I honestly don't know. Does EMP destroy electronics? The energy from the EMP received in such a very short time, however, it produces a strong electric current which could damage the equipment It said this can generate a rogue current of electricity that moves through a modern device's tiny circuits and can disrupt or even destroy them. So yeah, there is a possibility of an EMP destroying devices. Very interesting when you consider an EMP would destroy your nano, but wouldn't destroy the crypto steel or restore phrases. But would every nano in the warehouses also be destroyed with a sun flare? This makes you think about Samsung electronic warehouses and the Apple warehouse. Are they actual massive Faraday cages just in case we get an EMP blast? And then they've actually got stuff that was protected that then, like I say, just needs replacing, repairing. Nuclear electromagnetic pulse, an electromagnetic pulse. So there's two. And there's military EMP, there's energetic EMP, temporarily upset or permanently damage electronic equipment. That's the nuclear electromagnetic pulse. So I wonder if you can actually choose whether the pulse just damages or destroys. Would a sun flare big enough destroy? What happened in Canada? The Greenland sun flare blackout. Is that what it was? The sun flare blackout. Is something going to actually come up there? Sun flare blackout, Canada. Oh, there was. My head's good at times just because I'm having a doob that I remembered that. I wouldn't have remembered that when I was doob. The March 1989 geomagnetic storm occurred as part of a severe to extreme solar storms during the early to mid-March 1989. The most notable being a geomagnetic storm that struck Earth on March the 13th. The geomagnetic storm caused a 9-hour outage of Hydro-Quebec's electricity transmission system. The onset time was exponentially rapid. Other historical significant solar storms occurred later than 1989. Interesting. The Quebec power blackout. The variation in the Earth magnetic field also tripped circuit breakers, eyes, but power grid utilizes very long transitions line. The fact most Quebec sits on a large rock shield prevented the current flowing through the Earth, finding a less resistant path along the power lines. The James network went offline in less than 90 seconds, giving Quebec its second massive power outage in 11 months. The power failure lasted 9 hours and forced the company to implement various mitigation strategies, including raising the trip level, installing series compensation on ultra high voltage lines. Interesting. So we got a sun flare there in 1989. You're talking a geomagnetic storm that just surged the fucking Quebec's electricity system and only put it out for 9 hours. Does that mean a solar storm of the same magnitude now would only disrupt some of the internet for several hours? So everyone thinks a solar flare EMP is just going to put us out. Oh, send us back to the dark ages. You hear it all the time. Send us back to the dark ages. Will it? Will it? Did it? We did it in 89. It happened, bruh. I'm buzzing I remembered that. Buzzing I managed to find that there. I'm new to crypto. I hope it works, but not quite a bit at the time. Money invested in Bitcoin XRP, real Digibyte, and a couple of other ones. Very interested. Enlighten me a little more if you can. Firstly, you hope it works. Trust me, it works. You bought it, you hold it, we've got it, we can send it. It works. Basically, get yourself on Google, look from proof of work, proof of concept, consensus-based algorithms, interledger protocol, interoperability of value, the internet of value. It's basically, in most layman terms, the 3 to 5 day pending payment you see in banks. When you buy something off Amazon or something from a company on another country, it takes 3 to 5 days for the settlement to execute, or a contactless payment from your payment card might take 3 to 5 days to execute. When we have a stable internet of value and stable interoperability and on-demand liquidity between different networks of value, you will see that pending payment disappear. My guess is by the time that happens, the price will be too high for most people to then invest. But yeah, Just Google's your friend at the moment. Lizette, that's an interesting name. But yeah, Google's your friend. Proof of work, proof of concept, consensus algorithms, and interoperability of value. Top of the morning, Keanu Pratt. I love that eco. I love that, mate. Keanu. What out of what film though? Samurai, like the running one. Ledger needs EMP protection at mainframe, so now we start thinking. Makes you wonder what kind of EMP and solar flare protection all the server houses have got. Have you seen some of the Google server houses, data centers, server centers? They actually believe they're going to be the size of cities eventually. Google data center, and go to images, and you're talking warehouses, full warehouses like that, right? Of nothing but that inside, ready to be stacked, so it can grow to the roof as well. Of server after server after server after flaming server, and it just makes you wonder. Because this is what we're talking about when we talk about EMPs and we talk about solar flares taking out the internet. If it takes out the internet, it takes out the crypto, takes it all out. But is it just temporary? It seems it's just temporary, depending on the frequency, as said in the comments. It would depend on whether it was a natural solar flare, seems to only be several hours, and it just trips the breakers and finds ground. Interesting. It would oversurge, so you get overcurrent. You get a surge of current, trips the breaker, it finds earth or neutral, and it goes to fucking ground, and then it's legitimately just waiting for everything to be retested and turned back on. When it's a weapon, militarized, I'm guessing the frequency is going to do a lot more. It's going to pop capacitors, it's going to damage diodes, it's going to damage circuit boards, it's going to burn them out, and instead of just finding a path to ground, it's going to burn a path to ground and completely damage the device. European data center, that one is apparently somewhere in Europe. But it makes you wonder, all this EMP talk and that, are the systems actually safe in the long run? Even if an EMP does take them out temporarily, it seems they would be safe. Now, is anyone stupid enough or desperate enough with good enough technology to want to wipe the internet out? I don't think it's ever going to come to a point where someone with a weapon wants to kill the internet, because the internet was created for communications during nuclear wars, when most systems have been destroyed and gone down. It was seen as a system that was one of the hardest to stop and destroy. Do you know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, for someone to turn around and create a weapon that would actually write the internet off for good and send us back to the dark ages, I think it's a little far-fetched myself, but possibility, probability, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. What's the probability of it? Yeah, 47 running, humbly disrupting the cultural status quo. Do you know that film? If you just, it went a bit too far magically, didn't it, man? I mean, I'm a fan of magic and spirituality and that, but that just went a bit too far. That film was a decent watch, but I wish it had just stayed closer to the Japanese roots. And selling foil helmets. Fucking hell, Joe. Get lights fitted from Scott. Psychics have been predicting crypto prices. Yeah. It's interesting, Phoenix. It is definitely a question worth asking a few of them on Twitter, and not just CZ. It's worth asking fucking Google. It's worth asking Elon Musk. How's he protect his servers from EMP blasts? Is his warehouses built as a Faraday cage? What material does a Faraday cage actually have to be? Because if you've got a steel fucking bin, I mean, I've been in the basement of some buildings in Manchester and you ain't getting no signal any day anyway. Like the amount of steel in them concrete has basically become a Faraday cage because there's that many concrete columns full of steel rebar. Do you know what I mean? See, that's nuclear EMP suit have just legitimately established on Google that there's actually multiple kinds of EMP, nuclear electromagnetic pulse. There's just electromagnetic pulse, militarized and weaponized electromagnetic pulse. It's extremely interesting. Why does EMP fry electronics and does turning them off actually protect them? If you actually disconnected a computer from external wires, it would probably suffer little or no damage from an EMP. Is it potential differences? Does it need to find ground? Depending on how the breakers trip and that, does it protect the system? It is an interesting one. Regarding the nuclear weapon in the atmosphere, I know that is legitimately all it becomes, especially outside the atmosphere. It has an even greater impact because it's going off in a vacuum, and it'll do some real fucking damage up there. I think they actually tested a few and then just stopped doing it. See, the Denarian, I don't believe that. It depends if a certain kind of EMP was to hit the whole Earth, then yeah, life as we know it would cease as we know it. Like this stops instantly, either temporarily or permanently. I can no longer talk to you the way I do. Do you know what I mean? It is an interesting one, but is it gone for good? It's does the USA have a ground Earth? Fault live and neutral. Interesting. In Britain, it's now line, live, and CPC. So you have your Earth, your circuit protective conductor, then you have your bonding, your main Earth. So Earth and CPC are actually different. The Earth is earthing the whole system. It's the bonding that's bonding that system to the ground. It's giving it a path back to ground. The CPC is protecting each circuit and giving it that path back to the Earth, which then gives it the path back to ground. Neutral being a live cable while the system is on, it's alive. It's not live neutral Earth anymore. It's line live Earth. So line would be your brown, your live, your feed, you supply, and then your load or the return on the back end of the circuit, because the neutral is the return of the circuit. It's I'm pretty sure Americans have live, but isn't it 110 volts, not 240? Much love. Right back to your. Is it Lizette? Lizette, your number, your name. I'm thinking it's not Lizette. Lizette. It's a nice name if it is. But yeah, much love sent back. And feel free to DM. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Send us a message. Send us an email if you want a bit more information. We will have some course content going up towards the back end of the year. Once we've got another DLT con out of the way, we will be running courses to educate the general public on the bigger picture, not just that Bitcoin thing or just XRP. It's Internet of Value. It's about the Internet of Value. It's about many, many more than just one asset, trust me. We'll see what CZ responds. Anything that interests me, Alan, and again, not got many certificates and documentation for it all, but anything quantum physics fascinates me, mate. Them quarks and all that. I think that's going to produce time travel myself. But again, I don't want to turn this into another deep talk like yesterday did. But yeah, I've done. I looked at anything and everything, mate, from animation, comics, fantasy, multiverses, science, art, music a little, but not quite as much. But yeah, my mum was shut that door in. It's getting fucking chiller. My mum's a microbiologist, or was a microbiologist before she retired, so I've always been interested in science. Always been interested in comics and science, but never the spirituality or cosmic side. And you know, all the multiverses and interdimensions and all that. I was always interested in that as a kid through the comics. But I could never come out like this and talk about it because science hadn't caught up, and everyone was just like, oh, it's just a lot of bullshit, talking like religion and all that. Whereas now, mate, science, spirituality, religion, quantum mechanics in the middle, it's all started coming together and making sense together. It's a lot easier to talk about these days. Superman, for instance, so for a couple of minutes, for Superman's not realistic for most people. For me personally, he is, because in the story I take from Superman is from a different galaxy. So until you go to a different galaxy and tell me a different sun makes atoms react differently and all that, you can't say that a being coming from that galaxy to here is not gonna, the sun and his atoms aren't gonna react differently to ours. You put a plant on a different planet, it'll change colour because the atmosphere and the way the light's hitting it. Stuff changes, different atmospheres under different suns. So it becomes realistic to explain it. How does Superman fly? Well, the electromagnetism of the planet we've just been speaking about, it's got a magnetic field. He can feel that because every atom is electromagnetic at its core. Otherwise, they won't all hold together. Superman can feel that, and he can use it to pull himself from one part of the planet to the other along the magnetic lux lines and ley lines. It's science has started explaining fantasy in that a little bit. Cryptography and all that, it's all fascinating. Whatever fascinates me, I'm willing to look into and expand my knowledge of. I think C19 is covered up. I really do. Show me the flu numbers. Are they up or down? Are the flu numbers as expected this year, or they all turn to C19 deaths? I don't know. Show me. I'm lacking evidence, mate. I can't make a definitive answer. I don't know what to believe. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate, mate. I've got some books in the house and that. I love it all. Do you watch Anthony Patch? I can't say I do, Jay. I can't say I do. The name's not clicked to face, so I'd have to say no, but I'm not too sure. If I see him, I might be like, oh, fucking hell, him. Yeah, of course I do. Shit. Who's he? What's he been on? What would I have seen him on? So do you think in another universe somewhere XRP is slow as BTC and BTC is a fast one? They might have named them differently, yeah? Hey, damn right they might have. Satoshi might have called it XRB. Alan Watts. Ramdas kind of rang a bell then. Let me get a face up for Anthony Patch. I need the toilet. I've come to needing the loo. I'm going to go in. This is 2 hours, 20 minutes thingy, this. That's hardcore. Let me swap charge out of there, into there. I've lost the name. Where's it gone? Anthony Patch. What's he into? Anthony Patch. Anthony Patch. Oh, don't do me dirty, Wi-Fi. I need to get a SIM card for this. I'm too far. Got no contract on his phone in my hand, so I have to wait for the Wi-Fi. Oh, he's got a memorable face, him, Anna. Oh, that symbol there next to him. Anthony Patch. The philosophical and spiritual. The physical cannot be separated from the spiritual. Oh, my days. Oh, I'm all over that. Anthony Patch home Facebook. Just going to follow that. I love that. Love that little symbol he's got next to his name there. That's quality, that. I'm going to like that. Come off there. Let's find another one. What else did you say? Alan Watts. D-Wave. The D-Wave computers, mate. Have you seen a video of them talking about alternate realities? Where it says, oh, if I was talking to a physicist, now I'd be using different language. What was I saying the other day about the autistic kids and the physicists creating a new language? The aliens, to be able to talk to aliens talking like that, be able to talk to interdimensional beings talking like that. It's a language like computers will use to talk to each other, their language, their sandbox language. It's our sandbox language is physics. The rules of our sandbox, just like Grand Theft Auto is in a sandbox universe. It's a little box with a little universe inside it. It's got certain rules that you can and can't do. The Matrix. If you find the cheat codes like Neo did, if you're the one with the cheat codes, you can bend reality a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It makes you wonder if magic used to be real, man. It really, really does. D-Wave computers, man. Oh yeah, go toilet and come back. You can make a brew. To 300 Sammy Flow. Nice. If an object vibrates at the same frequency as its surrounding, it will levitate. I agree with that. That's how the Flash could probably fly if you adapted that to the Flash. Again, I'm going to comics, mate, because comics has been explaining it since the 50s. It's just science didn't catch up. Seriously. So they found the event horizon in the 50s, didn't they? Like, oh, fucking, I wonder what's beyond that. We still don't know. But comics has gone, we'll have a little, what's behind it. And it's alternate realities and all that shit. It's how the Flash starts breaking dimensions. Not breaking them, but breaking through one and getting to the other. Do you know what I mean? And when he goes to a different Earth, it vibrates at a different frequency. And for him to phase through stuff, vibrate through the atoms of a wall, he's got to nail the frequency. It makes you wonder the hereafter. The hereafter, that term, the hereafter. Like the place where ghosts are, the unfinished business guys, the ones that are those spirits are lingering about to guide or help someone. The hereafter. It's here, but after life. So you can't go there while you're alive, but it's fucking here. But it's after this journey. So it's in the same place, but after. So it's like an episode 9 that doesn't unlock until you finish fucking episode 8, but it's on the same program, it's in the same place, episode 8, episode 9. You've got to watch fucking 8 before you can watch 9. You've got to die before you can go to the hereafter. But the hereafter is still here. You're just vibrating at a different frequency, and you can't see each other, can't feel each other. Occasionally, there can be fine lines between them where the vibrations are that similar. Someone might see, oh, I saw a ghost. I've seen a ghost. It's crazy, mate. Yeah, the Eco-African. My mum, I've got a special one, mate. Not just the knowledge in science and that. It's been my own world for years. Phoenix, if you could match the frequency of a wall, you could walk through it just like the Flash does in comics. It's called phasing in comics. You phase, vibrate at such a fucking frequency, you become basically air. Your atoms spread out like by barely a millimeter between each atom. Are electromagnetically fucking, like, not all atoms are touching, are they? They're electromagnetically levitating next to each other because there's electrons and shit spinning around them, and they're spinning. So if they was locked together, they couldn't spin. Take DMT and pull yourself out of the waiting room. Don't go for the breakthrough. Blast it. Pull yourself out of the waiting room and then look at this reality with that vision, and you'll see the atoms of things spinning. You'll see things moving, but they're not moving. You're like, that's moving, but it's not moving. And you end up going proper close to it. Some people call them the machine elves. Like the little elves fucking holding atoms together. It's fucking madness. But yeah, it's not really touching. So if you match a frequency, you walk through it. is subject to solid, liquid, and gas. Apply certain temperature for you so you can change the state of everything. Temperature and pressure relationship, Oliver. Now, I did refrigeration for a short time with Kurt, my mate. Did refrigeration for a short time, learning the pressure temperature relationship. Now, loads of people boil water and produce steam, but they don't realize that the change in the temperature of the water actually changed its pressure. It changed its form in the same way as if they'd have cooled it enough, what would have happened? It goes solid. If they heat it enough, what happens? It turns to vapor. That's the same with everything. Even fire is just a chemical reaction, and people think wood's on fire when it's not. When you've got a flame coming off wood, that's not the wood on fire, that's the wood getting warm. And because you heat it, you change the temperature, you change the pressure, you'll hear it cracking open as it's expanding. That's the crackling of the fire, the wood's cracking open. As it cracks open, it releases its gases that it's been containing. It's them gases on fire that produce the flame of the fire. When wood's on fire, it's an ember. It's just glowing red. It's fascinating science. I love it. Nature is fucking fascinating. The world and the elements, it's deep, man. The sad thing is, Eco African, is that not many people know who the true self is. I was in my 30s before I started realising who I truly was. Sadly, I wish I'd have noticed at 21, but too young, immature and programmed back then, mate. I was a fucking sheep back then. I was a football sheep, like thinking football fucking mattered, crying over losing football matches, and that is absolutely stupid. F-gas, mate. F-gas. I didn't do the F-gas course or anything. I'm guessing you're a refrigeration engineer, Oliver. You know a little bit about it, mate. But yeah, it's a fascinating science. Pressure, temperature. It's we need to invent a frequency matching device that can rob banks. Fringe has an episode where they do it. Watch Fringe, Steve. Start watching Fringe. I guarantee before you're even through the first season, you've seen that episode, mate. Go make the device. Laughing, lad. Just put a piece of cloth on the fucking wall and all this doo-daddy-ba-ba, and they walk through the fucking wall to the safe. Phoenix, it's sad, innit? And I think that's the case for many people, you know. What scares me is the arrests while intoxicated. Every single time I've been arrested, I've been intoxicated. Every single fucking time. Right? It was because of that, and then struggling to get work through the criminal record, that I walked away from the pub. I walked away from it. I had to. I fucking had to, mate. I wonder what would have happened if I wasn't getting nicked. Who would have been? What kind of knobhead would I be now if I wasn't getting nicked back then? You know, getting away with it all. Getting away with being a dick. Getting away with fights at the weekend. Getting away with fucking drink driving and all that kind of bullshit. What kind of dickhead would I be now if I didn't just grab myself and be like, listen, bro, you got to walk away. I wouldn't be wearing shit like that. Fucking your Driscoll and Trees of Life and 108 prayer beads and all that stuff. Not that on now, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. It is weird. Finding yourself is your true meaning. It's your true purpose. Finding who you truly are. Connecting to your cosmic self. I needed DMT to truly do it in the end. It's not that I wasn't on my way to it before DMT. DMT was giving me a massive jump towards it. Oh, what's that? JR went to India when I was 27 for 6 months. Changed my life totally. I never touched another drink or drug. Miraculous, really. Gotta go there. Oh, mate, that sounds amazing. I've got it in me that I want to go to a temple or something for quite a few months, and I've got a feeling that when I get back, I might be in a similar mindset about some of the plants I choose to consume. And he's amazing tech when you break it down. Treat it like nothing special, so if Superman existed, would eventually be normalised. Fucking would, mate. Oh, 369. I saw a mad Fibonacci thing the other day on Facebook, but it went a bit far. But yeah, that 369 stuff's a bit. He was all over it, wasn't he? He got obsessed with that in the end, Tesla, didn't he? Locked up 8 times, JR. Some lessons learned there, bruh, innit? Some lessons there. It's all it was to make you who you're supposed to be, though, mate. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, hopefully, you didn't do nothing too bad, and it's stuff that you can actually not only forgive yourself for, but your fucking higher self can forgive you as well. Sometimes we're put here for the journey, aren't we? We're on some sort of path, and we're given choices for whatever reason. We're given them, and for whatever reason, we take one. And we just have to hope and pray that we take the right fucking one. Not even pray, just hope and believe that we're taking the right ones. Praying for people who have blind faith, who don't believe in blind faith, and believe in belief. Believe in belief. You went to an Indian Buddhist retreat. Oh my days, that must have been awesome. There's a Buddhist temple somewhere in China, in the Wudang Mountains or something. You can go there, and it's only like $60 a week to live there. Miles. Oh, snort fat lines of XRP. Worcester Bosch has a hydrogen boiler prototype. Now that's very interesting. You're working with boilers there, Brown, Paul. Do you know? Have you got any idea how soon it will be till we have a boiler we can physically talk to? And is there any mention anywhere of boilers with ILP capabilities and digital wallets? Where are the Samsung washing machines coming from with the digital wallets within them? Where's the microwaves that are going to pay for their energy? You know, is there any talk of that? Like, if you know there's hydrogen boiler prototypes, do you know anything about where the payment side of devices? Do you know what I mean? Like the boiler pay, because it's going to be paying for energy as it's using it in the end. Legitimately is. Good stuff, JR. Mine spent me for the first time since 2004. For the first time since being 18, my record spent. It was April. Last one. Oh, gone. Spent me. So yeah, for the first time in a long time, I've got a clean spent criminal record. Nice, Alan. Respect that. Birth your first child, changing your massive respect. Does for a lot of people that I've seen it. Not happened to me yet, but I've seen it. 369 for dummies. Be interested in seeing that. Drop us on Facebook or something if you can, mate. Appreciate it. Wasn't Tesla talking to the Black Knight satellite? Oh, that satellite stuff, a 10,000-year-old satellite. I truly believe it. There was I've got a feeling, mate. I don't believe that it happened. I believe it's possible that over 12,000 years ago, before the flood, there was they had a satellite, there was a civilization more advanced than us, but in a different way. It was in harmony with frequencies emitting from the pyramids and stuff. And I truly believe, I believe it's possible they had some form of magic, energy, chi, elemental magic in tune with the cosmic self. I believe it's possible. Will we ever know it for sure? I don't fucking know, but there are rumors Tesla was in contact with the black satellite. Some call it the black satellite, some call it 10,000-year-old satellite, the ancient satellite. There's loads. Go to Google, you can find stuff about that. Wat Swam Moch in the forest, amazing, nice. Lived in Thailand for 25 years. Wow. Ever been to Cambodia, the big one there? apparently ridiculously cheap in Cambodia as well. You take several thousand, you can live like a king. Which markets do you see XRP tapped into by the end of 2020 besides remittance? Ooh. Fucking hell, mate. There's only 7 months left. There's only 6.5 months, 7 months left. 7.5 months. That's a tough one, mate. I think it'll be payment providers, if anything. It's not going to happen yet. Nothing. No, none. Not in a sense what I think you're thinking of. I think the next ones to come between 2021, summer next year, and 2023 is your corporations and institutions and Visa and stuff starting to use it and removing the 3-day pending payment I was talking about before. I think that's step one. I think the remittance market just grows until it's legitimately handling most of the 600 billion a year, 700 billion a year. I think that is. I think the bankers are still watching it until 2023, and then once they've made the migration and all the remittance has grown and the corridors and the liquidity pools, there'll then be enough for a more stable internet of value to start pushing more of the Swift stuff through it. But then you'll have to look at there's a multitude of things to look from, and they don't have to use XRP in the current climate. It's what I keep trying to say to everyone. X-current, remember X-current, before the whole thing was just called RippleNet and ODL, X-current, the bi-directional messaging system, has already sped Swift up fast enough for them to just wait till 2023 for all the banks to get on board, and for that kind of system to facilitate currency to currency exchange the way it is now. You see BTCs and digital fiat currencies, however, I feel will take a slightly different approach, and the internet of value that will trade asset for asset and not just currency to currency will heavily rely on ILP and XRP. I think that's pretty far down the line, to be honest, but we'll see, mate. We'll see. It's a good question, though. One language we can all understand everywhere in the world. Sign language, it's so easy and all the same. Sign language. The language will be a mathematical language in the end. People will talk like physicists and mathematics, and they'll talk in geometry and stuff. When you're explaining a rocky mountain, they'll talk in geometry, and the person will know exactly what shape the mountain is off the geometry given. Exactly, Oliver. Exactly, Oliver. I don't having a boiler in my house, mate. I'm no boiler in my gas boiler in my house. Get fucked. I want gas in my house, alright? I'm gonna have a gas cooker, gas boiler. Get the gas out my house. Here's some sticks of dynamite. You know, here's a box of dynamite sticks. Got no wicks in them. They're alright. Just make sure the spark never falls in the box. Put them under your floorboards. They're alright. They're alright. That's having gas in your house. It's alright. It just might blow up. You ever get a leak and don't smell it? Yeah, fuck. I've seen houses have gas explosions. Ain't gonna be my house. Won't be happening to my house. The minute I own my house, tap ahead of me, and gas is coming out of it, I'm telling you now. And an AC system's going in, and a wooden log fire. Simple. Simple. Don't ignore Bitcoin, mate. I'm telling you now. Could be a governmental test coin. Also could be exactly what it's supposed to be in the store of value. Also could end up a bragging right and digital bling. It's digital diamond, man. It's digital bling. It's the first one. It's the one that I've got a Bitcoin. That's its main use case. Yeah, crop circles are a mad one, you know. It's a weird one, that. Same in the catering industry. I mean, electrical indoors, just some modern grid. Interesting. Gas and hydrocarbons will be gone. I agree. What are the QR codes all over the spare parts? Where's our boiler IQ? Only works with British Gas, but it will notify of a fault before it happens. Interesting. People are still going to have gas in their house. It's obvious, like, British Gas ain't going nowhere, mate. They'll fight to survive for fucking eternity, mate. Do you know the satanic worship and stuff? It's a weird one, innit? When you take it from a Christian perspective, that's evil as fuck. It's the worst thing she could possibly do, isn't it? It's turn a cross upside down and wear it, worshipping Lucifer. Is it like the worst of the worst? Is that like Christian treason? Do you know what I mean? It's Catholic treason, whatever, wearing a cross like that. Whereas if you take like the new Sabrina aspect of it, where he's not really evil, he's just a little dark, wants people to have the information and knowledge that they're supposed to have. So it's like, do you know what I mean? Like the forbidden fruit being a mushroom and giving you knowledge and visions you're not supposed to have, and there being powers and abilities on this plane that you're not supposed to have. But Lucifer in Sabrina gives him to the people, gives them magic if they worship him. And when you start getting all that adrenochrome shit, it starts getting a little deep from who they're actually worshipping. So from a Christian perspective, that's extremely fucking, that's what I'll leave that alone for now. But from a spiritual perspective, what did an upside down cross mean in ancient times before Christianity? What a dark spirit's truly evil, like we were saying the other night? I don't know. It's a weird one, mate. But Bill Gates' wife wears an upside down cross. Next comment, liquidity. Love it. Morning, Gary. Love for Crypto Massive. What have you missed? Not much, mate. It was 2 hours and 42 minutes of me rabbiting on, basically. We hit, we basically, at the start of it, was going on about supply and demand being the major factor of the rise in value, in my opinion. Use case is only going to bring so much, where supply and demand can really rocket it, where we've seen with diamonds and stuff. I've shown a diamond watch worth 55 million and an antique car worth fucking 270 million, and that it quite ridiculous prices, simply because of the perspective and attention to the items. Do you know what I mean? Buying ripples. One BTC for crypto vanity, these allowing it really is in the next generation. Like I've got a Bitcoin, the wear it around a neck like that, mate. I've got a Bitcoin. I own a full Bitcoin. Only another 20 million people can say that. That gives it value straight away. What happens when 2 billion people want to say that? 2 billion kids in the world want a Bitcoin. How much are they worth then? Oh, shame that, Eco. Shame that. Maybe you need to reach out to kids and teach kids to make it in football. Condition kids, try and make it so they don't get injured. Do a PT course. When a bit of money comes in, mate, sell yourself a little complex where kids can come, or any kid that got injured while playing can come and learn to be a coach. You don't have to be a footballer to be involved in football, mate, and to make a career in it. Do you know what I mean? There's many managers have never been footballers. Many coaches have never made it. Do you know, what was he called? Dave Phelan broke his leg. FA Cup final. JJB, say anymore. You know what? We did more than enough. Do you know what I mean? There's many things you can do. Is it into the garage? I'm gonna win this now. I need to go to the loo. Upside down cross meant a sword, Oliver. Let me actually search it before I go. See what it is. See, straight away, I fucking knew it. Corruption everywhere. Passive ventilation with heat recovery is the way forward. You know, when I first started doing refrigeration, I'm like, heat recovery and heat rejection. You what? You're on about rejecting the heat, recovering the heat. What? It's good science, mate. It's good, right? The science, the pressure, temperature, science, and relationships are good science to get into. Deep talk, how got it. Basically, it was corruption. So Wikipedia is saying the cross of St. Peter, or Petrine cross, is an inverted Latin cross traditionally used as a Christian symbol. So it traditionally was a Christian symbol, but in recent times also used as anti-Christian symbol. In Christianity, it's associated with the martyrdom of Peter the Apostle. The symbol originates from the Catholic tradition that when sentenced to death, Peter requested that his cross be upside down as he felt unworthy of being crucified the same manner as Jesus. Could be respecting Peter, could be wearing it respecting Peter. Interesting one. But I had a feeling it would traditionally just be a normal Christian symbol, and it's now been raped, corrupted, like the swastika of Hindu Buddhism and all the rest of them who used to use a swastika as a symbol of peace. I know, Craig. I know, mate. 2 hours 46 minutes, man. I'm gonna have to stop it in a minute. It's getting to be ridiculous, man. It's getting to be ridiculous. Tom frame, Mike. Dan's gonna be watching this. May DM the 369 Vortex Math stuff. Thank you very much, Phoenix. I appreciate it. I'll get it shared on Facebook Love for Media page. Vipassana retreats are amazing. Did Boo mention that the other day? Was it Boo talking about that? I'm not too sure. It's like, as he's going fishing. He's getting ready to go fishing, the lad. Right, yeah, I am Oscars. Remember, guys, main message from the early in the video: supply and demand will truly rocket the value of these assets. When FOMO truly kicks in and it runs again, they start talking about the internet of value. All the kids realize the value that can be made through games, the value instantly created through the hobbies. There's going to be value popping up all over the gap, extra value on top of the current value. Everyone's going to want a Bitcoin because they're just going to want a Bitcoin. Oh, I want a Bitcoin. Wi-Fi. Might actually be on my 4G, you know. I'm on Wi-Fi. It's probably why it disconnected at one point. But yeah, it's only a matter of time till they truly blow. Regardless of what anyone says, regulation, use case this, use case that. What's Diamond's use case? It's one of the most valuable items on the planet. It's got hardly any use case beyond lasers and stuff. Yet people wear it all over. Bling, 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 bling. Bitcoin's digital bling. XRP is digital oil. The actual utility, commodity, the commodity that actually drives engines. Do you know what I mean? Not just blocks of fucking gold and shit, and diamonds. That's just bling bling. Look at this. I own some of this. Oil actually was used to lubricate systems, to power systems. Hydrocarbons, as said in the comments. Do you know what I mean? It was used as fuel. XRP is a fuel. It's the future of network to network exchange. It's the standard. It just is. Homework today is a kilo. Diamonds will be digitized. There's someone already doing the diamonds. I can't remember the name of them. Everledger. Everledger. Where's my head pull this shit from? Everledger, digital diamonds, bro. Tracking diamonds on the Everledger. I've seen it's coming back to me now. I've seen him. He was in government. I don't know if it's still there. It'll be on the channel a year and a half ago, maybe 18 months ago, 12 months ago. But there's a discussion within the UK Treasury and Parliament, and I think Ryan Zagon's there for Ripple, and there's an Everledger guy there talking about tracking diamonds on a ledger, and it's there, Everledger. It's already been done, bro. Digital diamonds, mate. Bitmans. Are LFC going to win the Prem? Hey, it would appear so, wouldn't it? Unless they scrap it. I don't know, mate, but yeah. You know the script, guys. Invest in yourself, invest in internet value. Take a look at Everledger, all the rest of them. There's loads out there. Trump's voice, Batman. I'm off for some breakfast in the toilet. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours, guys. If you're legitimately just tuning in and you want to watch a video or watch any of it, get yourself scrolling back through the time, because YouTube will process it once I've ended the Ashik records, mate. Everything you thought has been stored in the real cloud universal consciousness of, yeah, truly that, bro. I'm into that. I know that. The Akashic, I can't even say that. Akashic. Nah, but I believe that, mate. It's the universal ether. I feel like we're making an ether here, you know, just before I go. If you imagine we're a collective consciousness on the other side where that ether is, we're downloading all that information. We are basically a collective consciousness there. We are nodes in a distributed database on the other side, part of the Q collective from Star Trek. Like each Q is a node in the Q collective. Each ant is a node in an ant hive. We are a node. Our consciousness and soul is a node from the other side. We are now making here a DLT-based system that matches that they're talking about tapping into with Neuralinks. Now, are they trying to make a way to travel to and from at will so we don't need the physical biological vessels anymore? We have a mechanical vessel and we can come and go at will and actually remember who we are here, being Neo in the Matrix. So when Neo comes to the Matrix, he remembers his Neo. People unplugged. Are we unplugging ourselves in the Matrix? Is that what blockchain is? I'll leave you to think on that. Hey, possibility, probability, everything I just said's possible in theory. But what's the probability? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? We're creating the network we've come from here so we can come and go at will like Neo and Morpheus and that do. Oh, what? I hope so. I hope so. Either way, live long and hodl a lot of it, baby. Or at least until asset swap. I'm not fucking selling. Much love, guys. Until the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.